redacted, right? So at first it was we didn't redact enough, and then it was, oh my gosh, you redacted too much. And so then we said, okay, what did we redact too much about? And for the most time, almost to a person, we redacted victims' names. And Congressman wanted us to think that we, and tell the American people, be dishonest with the American people about our over-redacting, which wasn't true. So our prosecutors worked extremely hard for 72 days. Support staff, nights, weekends, Christmas, New Year's.
Let's talk about the Epstein hearing, because you just stepped out of that closed-door interview with one of Jeffrey Epstein's longtime assistants. The testimony is coming to a close right now. According to sources, Lesley Groff, the longtime Epstein assistant, she denied knowing about the convicted sex offender's crimes. She did describe him as a master manipulator. You're on the Oversight Committee leading the investigation. You said that you believe Groff was being truthful when she said she did not witness Epstein's sexual behavior with underage girls. Yet, Groff apparently didn't see anything wrong with scheduling Epstein's massages with young women when he was already a registered sex offender. So can you explain why you think she's being honest about knowing of the crimes?
Sure. So she did not witness the sexual activity. She didn't witness it. That's it. That's the only thing I believe that she said truthfully. She tried to deny even knowing Jeffrey Epstein. She said she wouldn't describe that they had a relationship at all. So meanwhile, Jake, Lesley Groff's name is in the Epstein file more than Epstein's name is in there. She's in there 157,916 times, and we're only halfway done with the documents. She did refer these now, this was at a time when Epstein is a convicted, registered sex offender. She is still referring young women to give massages to Jeffrey Epstein. Why I'm not giving her a pass at all.
Okay.
Much of 90% of her testimony was not believable.
This morning, one of the biggest names in business set to face questions about his ties to Jeffrey Epstein.
I've not accused Bill Gates of any wrongdoing, just want to ask what he knew and if he saw certain things.
Bill Gates appears thousands of times in messages and photos in the Justice Department's Epstein files. In a series of 2013 emails Epstein sent to himself, he appeared to suggest Gates was having an affair and seeking illicit drugs. Allegations a Gates spokesperson has called absolutely absurd and completely false. Overnight, a spokesman says while Gates never witnessed or participated in any of Epstein's illegal conduct, he is looking forward to answering all the committee's questions to support their important work. Gates' ex-wife, Melinda, this spring describing very painful memories when asked about her former husband and his ties to Epstein.
Whatever questions remain there of what I can't even begin to know all of it, those questions are for those people and for even my ex-husband.
Gates has not been accused of criminal wrongdoing in relation to Epstein, but he's expressed regret for the relationship, apologizing to Gates Foundation staff earlier this year, saying in part, it was a huge mistake to spend time with Epstein. His ties to the convicted sex offender date back to 2011, 3 years after Epstein's Sweetheart, Florida plea deal, which he addressed on Today in 2022.
I had a goal of raising money for global health. I didn't realize that in a meeting with him almost downplayed the incredibly awful things he did.
The House Oversight Committee, Tuesday, also questioning Epstein's longtime secretary, Lesley Groff. Groff, described as soft-spoken by one lawmaker who sounded skeptical of parts of her testimony related to Epstein.
She worked for him for 18 years, but maintains that she did not have a relationship. Well, she wouldn't call it a relationship. So it is highly inconsistent.
Groff told lawmakers she witnessed no explicit sexual behavior and has not been accused of wrongdoing.
What do you want to learn from Gates?
So we think, look, there's a number of business connections there. However, there's also a multi-year relationship between Gates and Jeffrey Epstein. And I know that much as Epstein was trying to play Gates just like he did Wexner to get investments, there was also something very creepy going on there. And we would like to find out to the degree that Bill Gates knew about that. I know he's apologized to his his staff. But that relationship went on for a long time after Jeffrey Epstein was convicted and was a registered sex offender.
It's very difficult to believe what Lesley is saying, unfortunately. I mean, we've been asking her very tough questions over the course of many hours. The transcribed interview is still ongoing. And while she repeats herself over and over again, I think what is so difficult to believe is somebody who is so intimately involved as an executive assistant to somebody for 18 years, to your point, before and for 10 years after he was first convicted in 2008 and got his sweetheart plea deal. That is what is really challenging for me to believe. That's also why we believe as Oversight Democrats, why it's so important to have these interviews in front of the American people under oath as a deposition or a hearing public for the American people instead of these interviews that are taking place behind closed doors, that are not videotaped, that are just happening, quite frankly, in a vacuum. We are getting more valuable information about other people in Epstein's orbit, but I believe when Democrats are in power, we're going to have to bring every single one of these people back under oath to testify again.
I want to ask you about what she said about associates of Epstein's, because she was the conduit, right, between him and his high-profile friends. She also booked travel for him and dozens of women. What specifics did she offer on who those associates were? Is there evidence that these women were trafficked to these friends?
According to Lesley, she did anything that Jeffrey Epstein directed her to do. She said that he called her every single morning right before 9 a.m. with a laundry list of things to do, described it as crazy or chaotic, and that, she did as she was told. She really, is saying essentially that she was naive, didn't know better, did not think anything of it. She was calling and booking predominantly in New York is what she says, that she didn't manage most of what happened in Palm Beach or in New Mexico. He also had, 5 or 6 traveling assistants. So that's people like Sarah Kellen, who of course came before us, and she herself was a victim and says she was a victim. But Lesley does not have that same story. She says she was never abused or assaulted by Epstein, that there was nothing romantic or sexual in nature there at all. And yes, she scheduled all of his calls with important high-profile people. She was just, as I left the room, being asked about setting up calls with Donald Trump before their alleged fallout, and she said that she did that about once a quarter before that time period.
So the federal investigation, right, that congressional investigation, we should say, is unfolding as New Mexico is conducting its own state investigation. You're looking at Zorro Ranch here. That's Epstein's property. You might remember we did some reporting there some weeks ago. I spoke with the state's Attorney General, Raul Torres, earlier today, who says he has some concerns now about the Justice Department's cooperation. Thank you so much for being here. You are in Washington to speak with survivors. This was a goal, right? Talk to me about this conversation that you had with them yesterday.
So there was a convening that was hosted by the World Without Exploitation, which is a group that really is focusing on raising awareness in this country and around the world, frankly, about the impact of human trafficking. And it provided an opportunity for us to get in front of Epstein survivors and let them know about New Mexico's ongoing criminal investigation.
To do this, to conduct this investigation, you obviously need materials, you need information, and you have asked, and you referenced this yesterday too, that you've asked the DOJ for unredacted access to the Epstein files, and you still do not have it. Why do you think that is?
Well, look, we're working through a process that it's called the 2E process. It's complicated, but the bottom line is there is a long-standing practice of federal law enforcement and state law enforcement collaborating, coordinating, sharing information. We have engaged the Department of Justice. We are still waiting for that access. It is frustrating. I'll tell you that it is hindering our ability to move this investigation forward at the pace that I would like. And I'm hoping that we can resolve that in a way that serves the interests of these survivors. But, it remains to be seen whether or not we're going to have unredacted access to the
But what does that mean? Is your only option here to wait? What do you do from here if the DOJ is not going to play ball and give you what you're asking for?
Well, I haven't ruled anything out in terms of what next steps might be. We are
including legal action against the DOJ?
That's a possibility. But my hope is that we can have a cooperative relationship. We've been meeting with people on Capitol Hill who have really taken a lead in trying to bring transparency to the Epstein files. I know that's the thing that is frustrating both members of both party on Capitol Hill, but also the survivors themselves.
You said you are hopeful for cooperation here from this Department of Justice, which is if the nomination for the potentially soon-to-be Attorney General goes through, will be Todd Blanche leading that department. He is somebody who said just a couple of months ago that to the extent that the Epstein files was a part of the past year of this Justice Department, it should not be a part of anything going forward. Do you believe then, given that Todd Blanche is the right person to lead the DOJ and by extension lead any sort of cooperation with your office on the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would defer that judgment to the members of the Senate Judiciary Committee, who I know are going to be tasked with taking up his nomination. What I will say is that as a career law enforcement and state and federal prosecutor, it's unusual for us to not have this kind of cooperation.
Does it concern you that the potential next AG said what he said about the Epstein case?
It is. I mean, it's concerning that we don't have a level of cooperation that, again, as a longtime prosecutor, was pretty routine.
How have things been going for Todd Blanche of late? How have things changed since word of his nomination came out?
Yeah, we can take a look at Google searches and see that interest in Todd Blanche, not surprisingly, is way up 233% on Monday versus the prior Monday. But I want you to take a look here at the footnote. I tried to make it a little bit bigger for you. Top associated searches, Attorney General, Trump, and Epstein. That to me is so important because the Epstein case has really kind of fallen off the radar a little bit, and it's been such a bad case in terms of politicalness or political sort of attitudes for Donald Trump. And now all of a sudden, with Blanche being nominated, hello, what is back in the news again? It is the Epstein case, something that Donald Trump, I don't think, wants to be back in the news.
It's really interesting. So it was one of the top associated searches, Trump and Epstein, when people were looking for Todd Blanche. There are going to be confirmation hearings where senators, Republicans and Democrats can ask questions about Jeffrey Epstein. What's it going to be like to have that back in the news? How excited should the president be to have Epstein back in the news?
It is a political nightmare for Jeffrey Epstein and the Epstein files to be back in the news for Donald Trump. I mean, just take a look here. Okay, Trump's net approval rating, immigration, foreign policy, trade tariffs, the economy, the Epstein case. Look what's at the bottom of your screen. Look, he's in red, negative red on all of them. Immigration, foreign policy, trade tariffs, the economy, and the Epstein case. But the Epstein case takes the cake here. Minus 42 points. He's 42 points underwater on the Epstein case. Donald Trump wants basically anything else to be in the news, perhaps outside of inflation, to be in the news when it comes to him and his popularity, because of the Epstein case, while he's underwater and everything, he's really far underwater. He's down there with the Titanic when it comes to the Epstein case and his net approval.
Oh shit, down there with the Titanic, son. Woo! The Titanic. What is up, buddy? How you doing?
Oh, fucking hoping for justice. The swift, stabby, pokey, skeleton-like hand of justice, okay? They got him. They got him now. I don't know what they're going to do with him, but they've got him maybe in a room discussing the Epstein shit, but maybe they've got him. Maybe, just maybe once they want to do their fucking job. Gabriel.
Yeah, they got Mr. Gates in there today. They've had Lesley Groff in there yesterday. Although, from what we understand, her full testimony has not been released yet. But parts of her opening speech and parts of some of the more heated interactions have leaked out, of course, from some of the elected officials. Flak Magnet, I'm Gabriel Speaks. You're watching the Gabriel Speaks podcast. Thank you all for tuning in. Another lovely day here in Epstein file land, where we're talking about a few things. I mean, Groff yesterday, Bill Gates today. We've got the New Mexico Attorney General frustrated because the federal justice system will not cooperate on the Epstein files they need to investigate the case out there at the ranch. And, oh, by the way, Todd Blanche has just been nominated Attorney General. But what is everybody on X talking about? Oh my God, David Grush, the day before the Disclosure Day movie, stood out front of Capitol Hill and said we have multiple biological aliens and presented zero evidence.
Yeah, I'm not trusting anytime they use the word alien now. I just think this is another ploy for the immigration shit. Biologics is a little bit better. It's a little bit better, but the second that anybody goes into alien territory, the DOJ or was it Department of War, fuck that up, man. Whatever department did the immigration shit.
Dozens, plural.
All right, that's a lot less than the immigration problem that seems to be going
dozens
on.
of non-biologics, non-human biologics, and they have video and audio specifically that they are redacting. Mind you, he's standing on Capitol June 9th, the day before what came out today, Disclosure Day.
We considering this Spielberg's opus?
I don't know. It's not getting very good reviews from what I understand. But at any rate, it's interesting that sideshow is going on when the real news is Bill Gates is having to sit before an oversight committee today and testify.
Yeah, that's the important one. That's the hanging chat.
Who gives a fuck about fake disclosure? They're not disclosing shit. They've been stringing us along for fucking over a decades, plural, like dozens of non-human biologics, okay? You're paying attention to the wrong thing.
Look over here. Look at the shiny thing. Look, what's this? This is your justice being stolen from behind you.
Man, come on, y'all. How many bullshit announcements? Like, how many times has Stephen Greer gone and had a conference in Washington, D.C.? What changes?
Yeah, he did say a fucking hell of a lot more, right? And he also did come with the receipts with the interviews from military personnel.
Yeah.
Say what you want about Greer, but he has been in the fucking thing for a while, and he's said the same shit for a fucking while, and he said more than most of the whistleblowers are willing to say.
Boy, and some of the more out there shit he talks about is just woo, talking about conjuring interdimensional beings to scare the shit out of people. I mean, wow. But that's not what we're here to talk about. Today, we're going to talk about this son of a bitch, Bill Gates, and Lesley Groff. Now, this is an old slide we did when we were looking into the Epstein recruitment pipeline. So y'all are probably familiar with this. This is how it worked. If you were a model in, let's say, Ukraine or somewhere in Europe, right? You'd speak with Maxwell. You'd speak with Sarah Kellen, who actually said she was a victim herself last week. You'd speak with Lesley Groff, or you'd speak with Haley Robson. And they would get you set up in some fucking apartment and stranded somewhere without a visa so they could victimize you. That's what they fucking did. Dirty shit.
Yeah, my problem with what Sarah Kellum said is, just about all of it. I can't find any of the things where she was recruited into anything. I only have found her as a recruiter. You know, there's not very much on the side of the victimization that she's claiming. You know, and maybe it's in there. Maybe I haven't found it within the 3 million files, but those were the easy ones to look up. Those were the names we had forever. So those were the earliest starts with everybody looking into the Epstein files. It was okay, let's dig into the names we've already got. And I don't find the victim testimony to be true in that.
Yeah, and that would be unfortunate if somebody was in that position, maybe saying that so that they don't get in trouble, so that they don't face criminal charges. Could be, maybe. Who knows? There's a disclaimer in the notes section on the video, if y'all are watching this on YouTube, that no one is guilty until they're found guilty in a court of law. And that's one thing we want to put out there. But there's a lot of tie-ins here. And it's interesting to see, Keller say she's a victim. Groff. Let me just get pulled up some things that we know Groff said for certain. And this was because the official testimony hasn't come out yet. This was a deposition that she gave. And so she got to give an opening statement. And then these senators got to ask her some questions. So she testified that she had no knowledge of Epstein's sex trafficking operation, despite working for him for nearly 18 years. Quote, most importantly, I would have never sat silent if I knew of his crimes. She described Epstein as, quote, a monster and a, quote, master manipulator. According to Groff, Epstein intentionally kept his criminal conduct separate from his professional life. She admitted scheduling massages. And this is what's weird, right? Is like she knows what he did, what he was found guilty of in Florida. But she continues scheduling these massages and wants us to believe, and wants these senators to believe, that there's nothing to that. So Groff maintains she believed they were legitimate appointments and claims she did not know the girls were minors. She didn't know the massages were sexual in nature, and she never witnessed abuse. ABC reported that DOJ records indicate, quote, numerous victims of Epstein had indicated that she was responsible for scheduling massages during which they were sexually abused. So you have these kids saying one thing, like, no, she was the lady. All these different kids saying it. And like this, the one person that has something to lose saying, no, I never did that. Jump in anytime you want, buddy. Oh, let me turn the chat on in case you're watching us. I did want to give a shout out to Psionic the Hedgehog for making that last song during our opening. He made some banger beats. So if you are looking for some good tunes where you won't get copyright on, hit the man up or the gal, whatever. Let's see here. Lawmakers were skeptical. Members of the committee openly questioned whether Groff's explanation was believable. Representative Suhas Subramaniam. Did I say that right? Probably.
Yeah,
not.
I think so.
Said before the deposition, she will argue that she didn't know anything, but I find that to be hard to believe. Well, no shit.
Yes, same here. Same fucking here. I might be a little slow to respond a little bit just because I'm right now going to go right through these fucking files. I'll do my diligence in figuring out if this lady is a bullshit artist, which I already think she is. I've already looked into her shit. I already know she's a bad actor, but we're going to start this fresh. We'll see how it goes, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, well, in preparation for the show, you heard the one senator say during the opening video that Goff is listed in the Epstein files. Jesus, it was like almost 250,000 times or some bullshit.
Yeah, she was his assistant in whatever fucking capacity that means for Epstein. You know, like bad news.
Bad news. And Bill Gates, when I go to Gmail and I search Bill Gates, I get 2,351 results. And that's a relationship that was started after, as far as we know, after the charges were brought against him and he was found guilty in Florida. Okay, so since this is a live show, we are going to go live to DC right now. This is Comer, and this is during the Bill Gates testimony today. Now, they're planning on this going like late into the night, I guess. So let's check this out.
All right. Well, thank you all for being here. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay.
We are about to begin the interview with Bill Gates. This will be our 15th interview. There are a couple of things I want to mention about yesterday. Based on the testimony from Ms. Groff, as well as a meeting that I had afterwards with several of the Epstein survivors, I am going to ask Alan Dershowitz to come in. We will have questions for him. We're going to give him an opportunity to come in and answer several questions that arose yesterday based on.
Now, here's my question for you and anyone in the audience that may have great legal knowledge. Can they actually charge any of these people? Meaning, can anyone on this panel actually charge any of these people giving depositions with any criminal acts?
Yeah, they should be able to, or at least take whatever information is learned and bring it to the Department of Justice and enforce it into the judiciary. But I don't see them doing so. They haven't done it with anybody else yet. You know, like this. What's funny is like this should have been done the day that I think it was Kristi Noem walked out of the office crying after hearing some of the testimony and seeing some of the videos.
Bothered me. Yeah,
it should have been done then, right? Because now so many things have happened in between then that anger, which was completely justified, is now thrown out the window, and any momentum that was built up behind it is now fucking gone. If this was 20 years ago, and we weren't on the fast-paced timeline that we're on now, things would be a bit different. I felt like we would probably have had 20 protests for each one of these things that are occurring.
I'm going to submit an unpopular opinion. Imagine that. When Noam walked out of that conference, I was angry for the survivors. Like, I felt, you know, and people say, well, like, she had her own personal experience, and it's not. Okay, well, you took the job. And things got so bad in this situation. Law enforcement and the lack of enforcement let things get so bad that these people have to testify in front of you, and your little baby ass can't take it.
Well, that and what the fuck happened? Listen. Dude, if she had an experience anywhere near similar, the fury that she would have come with to bring the justice would have been tenfold. I don't want to doubt her victimhood, but I don't think any real victim would fucking be able to hear that shit and not go on a fucking rampage in the swamp that is DC.
Right. I can't pretend to know what going through that is like, other than it must be fucking horrible. But like, if you really want to help them, storming out so all the attention is on you is not really the best way to go about doing that. So the question is, if you're here, if you're in the chat, if you're awake, who would bring these charges? So let's say they decide everything Groff said yesterday was bullshit. Who then brings those charges? Because Todd Blanche has just been nominated for AG, and he's ready to put this shit behind him. So wouldn't he be the person that would have to bring charges? Or could some other state or city do it? I'm not sure. But I am sure that Todd Blanche could probably override him on any kind of federal level. So it's almost like it's all for naught. It's just one more thing they can say they did to try to be transparent. While other countries are arresting people and firing people, we're having hearings.
Based on Ms. Groff's testimony and some things that some of the Epstein survivors said. So we're proceeding along. Hopefully this interview today will be productive and help us learn more and help us in our investigation as we move forward. I'll be happy to answer a couple of questions.
Chairman, what are you expecting to ask Bill Gates today? What information are you hoping to get from him?
Well, the same information I think other members of Congress have said. We just want to know about his relationship with Mr. Epstein and Ms. Maxwell. What did he see? Did he know what was going on? Was he involved in any of this? So I'm sure as we ask questions, more questions will arise. I will say this: no one's accusing Bill Gates of any wrongdoing, and I certainly appreciate him coming in voluntarily.
He tried to drug his fucking wife on behalf of Epstein because of Russian prostitutes that he was dating who turned out to be a fucking spy.
I'm communicating with the Department of Justice.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen his ex-wife's interviews, but bad husband.
Yes, shit husband. I also found the answer to the question that was just asked. Hold on, here we go. Yeah, so I was right. It would be a congressional referral, a DOJ review, grand jury indictment, and then official charges would be placed. So it's the Congress would have to bring a referral for charges. The DOJ would then review said charges. The grand jury indictment preceding that would then bring official charges, right? So step 2, we're already fucked because the DOJ has been covering this up the entire time.
It's gotten worse and worse. Yeah, we saw it with Bondi, and now
Well,
we're
not the
seeing
first
it with
one.
Blanche. We saw it with Barr. I mean,
The first one was the DOJ hiding the verdict from the victims, right? Remember that whole thing? They hid the sweetheart deal. They hid for
deal,
years. For years, they had to sue the DOJ, and the victims had to sue the DOJ to get that fucking info out, right? So I don't trust the DOJ as far as I can fucking throw them. And I'm a little guy with little string bean arms, man. I can't throw them very far. So it means I don't trust them that much.
Yeah, I've been banging that drum for a long time. I mean, I think I did a whole episode on what a piece of shit Acosta was for doing that deal. I encourage y'all to check it out if you haven't watched it because it's literally an example of how a lot of these guys will outright just look you right in the eye and lie to your fucking face. Like they do not care one little bit. They have no conscience. None. It's a joke. At any rate, so let's see. At least, so right now, Comer's telling us the kinds of questions he's going to ask Bill Gates today.
I would like for Todd Blanche to come in July. Well, he's got, you know, I think we all know he has a big confirmation coming up. So, but I've always wanted Blanche to come in. Now, let me be very clear. Todd Blanche came in a month ago. He came in with Pam Bondi to answer questions from the Oversight Committee, and the Democrats stormed out and ran to you all to try to be the first to get on MSNBC and talk about their outrage. What a missed opportunity for the Democrats. But Todd Blanche answered questions that Republicans had for several hours, as did Miss Bondi. But we brought Miss Bondi back in, and we're working to bring Todd Blanche in.
Would it be Chairman, question overall? There were emails in the files relating to Bill Gates, a draft email alleging there was some kind of request to get medication for his to use.
Yeah.
Is there potential for criminal wrongdoing there, asking someone to procure a medication that may not otherwise be available?
I don't know about that, but that email will be addressed in the first hour of questioning. I can assure you, the majority will have 1 hour of questioning. The minority will have a 1 hour questioning. I hope that you all review the transcripts of all these interviews that we do and look at the depth of the question.
Yeah, why aren't I mean, at the speed at which things can be done. I mean, we should have the transcripts like immediately after these hearings.
We should also have a call for personal investigators. You know, there is no reason why.
Or is there a single journalist in the room?
Exactly, dude. Anybody who's looked into this more than 5 minutes is well prepared to fucking help Congress out with the shit. I don't hear anybody who has looked into the shit like properly go, oh no, this is a nothing burger. It's clearly not. There's so much shit in there, especially on these two.
Yes, they're doing this in closed doors, non-recorded. They're calling it depositions. They're saying they're giving us the entire testimony, but there's no way they're giving us the entire testimony. They are editing what they're giving us, and they're filtering is what they're doing. They're filtering what they're giving us. That's why they're doing this behind closed doors where nobody can see what the fuck is going on. And we're supposed to trust these people that we know lie for a living to tell us the truth about what's happening behind those doors.
Also, I think trusting the people that were involved, like this is asking the criminal enterprise to audit itself. You know, it's
Right.
not going to audit itself. It's not going to hold itself anywhere near accountable.
Yeah. No,
when it happened, this case in point, when it happened in New Mexico and Jeffrey got caught doing shit, instead of instead of completely getting away with it, he won a fucking lottery twice in a row. Like how the
Buddy,
fuck
I
does that happen?
know. That
And
is something that you've said a couple times. And what happened there? How did he do that?
He was getting looked into for some pretty serious charges, and I think as an apology, because they couldn't keep it under wraps, all the shit that he was doing.
Who was charging him, the state or federal?
It would have been, oh man, because this had to do with like them looking into his money laundering, some of his other shady business dealings and stuff, and then I think
Okay.
a little bit to do with the girl. So I'm
they're
not
going back.
exactly sure. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
late 90s. He was
Okay.
getting looked into over there. But remember, he had the mayor. He had a bunch of people under his belt anyway. So instead of getting fully charged or whatever, he went. Just look into it, because you can Google it and ask how many times Jeffrey Epstein won New Mexico's lottery.
Yeah. I'm trying this new thing, y'all. Let me know if it even works. It's a poll, though I don't know. Oh, I see. So type 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the chat. The question is, who do you think provided the most important testimony this week? Bill Gates, Lesley Groff, Todd Blanche, or none of the above? So 1 is Bill Gates, 2 is Lesley Groff, 3 is Todd Blanche, and 4 is none of the above. You can just hit the number, hit enter, and then your vote will get registered. We're interested to know what y'all are thinking. Personally, I think I would be hitting button number 1, because we're talking about 2 financial titans that were getting together doing some pretty twisted shit. Am I right? I mean, you mentioned that.
Yeah. So it was
his wife
2008 is when he won the New Mexico lottery.
Okay.
But he was being looked into for several years before that.
Okay.
I've got a little bit
Well,
more
yeah,
information on it. I'm trying to gather.
We talked about how he was basically running a Ponzi scheme. I mean, an effective one, and then got out of it when he paired up with Wexler, I think. All right, let's continue with what Comer, and again, this is today, this is live. Bill Gates is in the proverbial hot seat as we speak. And this is right before they went into the hearing. Comer talking about some of the things he'll be asking Gates about.
Questions that the Republicans ask versus the depth of the questions that the Democrats ask. Yesterday, right off the bat, the Democrats asked questions about Mar-a-Lago and Donald Trump. And this is about the survivors of Epstein and Maxwell. This is about trying to figure out how the government failed. And this goes back several administrations, several attorneys general. This has definitely been a failure in justice. We're trying to get the truth to the American people, and we're trying to provide some type of justice for the survivors. So I really hope that you all are reviewing the transcripts, because it's inevitable that after every interview, the Democrats march out here. Actually, they tiptoe out here, and they go and tell you all this stuff. They're outraged that Lutnick said or that Bondi said. Well, then the transcript comes out and no one ever questions on it. It's real frustrating, because the Democrats have been nothing but dead weight in this investigation. But I feel like we've accomplished a lot. We're bringing people in. And one thing that's clear is many of these people have never been interviewed by the government. They've never been interviewed by the FBI. They've never been interviewed by the Department of Justice. So this is the first time there's been a substantive investigation, and I'm happy with the work that we've done thus far. It's disappointing because I think that all of us would agree that some of the things that
Bill Gates has never been interviewed about this before. Lesley Groff has never been interviewed about this. Pam Bondi has never been interviewed. Shut the fuck up. What are you talking about? Some of these people running things, y'all, it's like I like them, but then you see they get into this divisiveness and it's just nonsense. Well, we asked all the good questions. The other side just wasted everybody's time because they asked stuff about, Donald Trump. Gee, why would they ask stuff about the sitting president and the guy you're investigating? Any idea, Flak, why you might do that? I mean, let's flip the script. Let's say it was like somebody on the other side, like old Bill. And Bill was president when all this came out. You think the other side would be asking questions?
I think the
Bill
other
Clinton?
side would have done the same fucking thing, buddy. I think
It's
we're
so
staring at the
divisive.
same group of friends, hanging out with the same group of friends, running the country for an indeterminate amount of time. Is what all this
100%.
shit is, I think.
It is so divisive, y'all. And just like someone standing on Capitol Hill the day before Bill Gates is set to testify in the Epstein case, talking about disclosure, even though it's not official. It's just this game that's being played with us. It's so frustrating.
everyone we brought in to interview have said are hard to believe. It was hard to believe some of the things Ms. Groff said yesterday, especially with respect to scheduling the massages every day, massive list of girls. That's hard to believe that she never suspected anything, but that's what she testified. It's hard to believe Lex Wexner didn't know anything going on, but that's what he testified. So we're going to continue to bring people in and ask the tough questions. I hope you're reviewing the transcripts to see the question. And then the last thing I want to add, we're also communicating, or I am, and my staff, oversight staff, we're communicating with the survivors. We're making sure the survivors read the transcripts. And if the survivors see any things that were said in the depositions and interviews that aren't true, we're working with them to try to get evidence to figure out
No
if
fucking
the witnesses
way.
were lying. So this is a very substantive investigation. And hopefully today we'll get some more information. And I think you've seen the list. We've got Staley and Leon Black, who is a very big person of interest.
Yeah, he's
in
not
this
going to answer shit.
investigation, coming in very soon. So we'll bring.
You know what Leon Black's going to say? I've got like 2 hours of Jeffrey Epstein saying it time after time after time. I'm sorry, but on the advice of my counsel, I have been told not to answer this question on the grounds that I may incriminate myself. That's what Leon Black's going to say for 2 hours. That's what we're going to hear. Actually, we're not even going to hear it. We're going to read it. Oh, we hit him with some hard-hitting questions. He didn't answer any of them, but we sure got him with some zingers. Give me a break, dude. Meanwhile, Prince Andrew's just arrested.
Oh, so I found a missing link of sorts, right? Known as the Robin Hood Gala from 2015. Okay. Now, if you look at that one, and all right, so first up, the reason why I bring that up is because I just found an email between Lesley Groff and Epstein talking about the Robin Hood Gala only allowing Jeffrey to bring girls. There is no boys allowed, right? And now this is a star-studded event. You have politicians by the likes of Anthony Weiner, Huma Abedin, and Nancy Pelosi. You have stars like Lady Gaga.
I mean, if you call it, I guess that's a star. The other ones, I think you could debate.
I'd debate all of it. I don't think they're worth anything, especially knowing what these people have done. But it's everyone. Anthony fucking Weiner is there, dude. This is around the time that he got caught. Yeah, the one who got caught sending pics to kids.
They found some other shit too, didn't they?
Oh, yes, sir.
Financial stuff and
big time.
Yeah.
A whole lot more.
Who was he? He was like the boyfriend of
Huma Abedin, Hillary Clinton's right-hand girlfriend. I say that in more ways than one. But yeah, so
allegedly.
He also is the one who supposedly on his laptop had the kill switch with all of Hillary and Huma's back and forth, right?
Wow.
And I think that's why all the shit hit the fan with him so hard.
What are your thoughts on Comer here?
I think he's all right. I don't trust politicians though.
He's in a hell of a position, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's not angry enough, man. Like, I don't know. We're at a should get off the pot moment. Like, what is the point of anything? You're just wasting tax dollars by fucking bringing these people in and allowing them to lie to your face. So, like, fuck it. If you're not going to do anything, stop fucking going on about it, is my feeling. Let the people handle the justice now.
It's the image. They want to make it look like, oh, we've dug so deep into all this. We tried everything.
Well, this is the thing I see, right? We're not too far from the time period when pitchforks and torches would have come out. Right? Like, I mean, I think it was the late 1800s, early 1900s. France was still fucking chopping people's heads off by guillotine. You know, like public hangings and shit. We're not too far off from all of those things. Right now, that is treason. Fucking means that is on the fucking table, right? And that's still in our law today. So I'm not being crazy by saying this shit. But they're doing nothing. They're effectively doing nothing and wasting tax dollars doing it.
Yes, because as I understand it, the FBI does investigations. The Oversight Committee looks at the investigations. They don't perform the investigations.
And I don't think these people have the proper amount of discernment. If I'm being honest,
I think you're right.
Look at his face. He was just fucking lied to for how long straight, and he's not beat red with fucking anger. You know, like I would have had. Oh man,
they'd have to be angry constantly.
You know what I would have done? I would have wasted so many tax dollars by having as many of my fucking staff printing off paper emails, right, of the people involved, and just showed the stack. You don't even got to go into all the emails. Just show the stack.
I don't even know if you could.
Oh, you could get at least half of them done in that amount of time. But
so many emails. Yeah. So back to Groff before we let Comer continue here. A couple other things she mentioned. Marina Lacerda's allegations resurfaced. Epstein survivor Marina Lacerda has repeatedly identified Groff as the person who contacted her. Lacerda told ABC, quote, anything that had to do with Jeffrey Epstein had to go through Lesley Groff. Lacerda previously alleged that Groff called her repeatedly to arrange visits to Epstein. Again, and this is what we were talking about. This is what we've talked about. And once they would get these gals, however they would get them, this was an organized thing. They knew exactly what they were doing.
I sent you probably about like 5 or 6 emails so far, but each one more damning than the last. And the final one, the last one I just sent you, is Lesley Groff, Epstein, and Eva Dubin talking about only sending the girls this year, which means it's a long-standing thing that they go to. And this year, specifically 2014/2015, is the only year that only the girls are allowed to go. For some reason. I don't know why, but for some reason, that's being discussed.
This is the one you're talking about here. Let's see if I can make it any bigger.
It would be the very last one that I sent you was the one.
Lesley Groff. This is an email. Key information. Jeffrey Epstein's arrival. JE is arriving tomorrow. Lesley Groff processes cleaning the 6 girls' apartments every Wednesday, possibly incorporating Leo to assist Tess and Isabella. The current method of separating cleaning days leads to missed tasks. Lesley suggests having all 3, Tess, Isabella, and Leo, clean together might be more effective. Current cleaning status: Isabella will be cleaning apartments today as they couldn't be cleaned yesterday. Tess will be preparing for Jane's arrival.
With muffins. Woohoo.
Oh my God.
Fuck him.
Okay, and this
Fuck
is
all
the
these
other one
people.
here. Here we go.
Go to the very last one I sent you, though.
This
Go
is
to
the one here. Hello, Ava. Jeffrey has advised Rich Kahn in our accounting department about the table he used to purchase for the Robin Hood event. However, Jeffrey wanted to make sure you'll be okay with him sending just the girls this year, as he does not plan to go. Okay with you? Thanks, Lesley. Yeah, there's no way she could have been involved in any of this strangeness or known anything weird was going on, right?
Now, just quickly, if you wouldn't mind, because I need this to be clean. I don't want it just coming from my hands. If you could Google Robin Hood Gala 2015 and just look at some of the people who went.
I'm just going to share the tab so everybody can see it. Robin Hood Gala 20 what?
2015.
Just 1A, I think. 2015. Okay, what am I looking for here?
Okay, go to images. This is everyone on. So there have been 100 lists that have gone out. Okay, 100 lists of Epstein cohorts over time, right? And now this has an overlap with just about every fucking one of those people.
Now what is this all about? It's a charity.
Oh, look, Miss Oprah. You got a little Oprah there. You got Cuomo there. You got a lot of people there.
Some guy dressed up like Robin Hood.
Oh, Serena Williams.
Serena.
You're gonna come across
guys.
Pelosi as well in some of those. Who is that? Is that Lutnick? No, that's not Lutnick. Just looked like
I don't know, but maybe a Lutnick offshoot. What the fuck is going on here? Robin Hood's annual. I don't even think we want to know. Wow. So basically a who's who.
Here we go. Pelosi.
Of the, would you call this right-leaning, center-leaning?
This is all Democrats that I'm seeing right now.
These are all Democrat left-leaning. Okay, so these are all left-leaning.
Oh, is that Paris Hilton up there?
Let's see.
Not
That
just
looks like
a
Paris
blonde
Hilton.
girl, but
Yep.
it's not.
Yeah.
Dang. But
wow. So what are they raising money for?
I have no idea. This is the first time I've ever even heard that gala.
Wow. Well, anybody in the chat, if you got any ideas. Oh, closing income inequality gap.
Ooh, and that was Weinstein.
Because they care about the middle class.
That was a good picture of Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, coming out of his car there?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's Seth Rich, right?
Seth MacFarlane, I think.
MacFarlane, my bad. Seth MacFarlane, okay. Which is crazy. Like, he has so many shows. It's nuts, right? Like, he runs everything from, oh my God, just like Family Guy, Futurama.
So Richard Kahn is also heavily implicated in all this stuff, right? That's number one. That's the table for the guy who's buying into it, right? He's the one who's buying the table. And now you have Jeffrey Epstein
I think there's an actual picture of a table up here somewhere. Yeah, here's some tables.
So now what benefit would Jeffrey Epstein have in only sending women this year? With all these Democrats, right? Democrat hoax, folks, except it's not. Except these Democrats were all closely knit and implicated in this thing, right? Why would Epstein be sending all of his girls there? I'm thinking blackmail purposes. This is probably one of the events that they scooped up a whole bunch of people with their pretty girls that came in and fucking did whatever they needed to do. Because remember, Epstein was running a blackmail operation via coercion, via extortion, using women as a fodder, right? And the DOJ chose to ignore this.
He would essentially send in these femme fatales into these events and get these gentlemen to put themselves in compromising positions, whether they're cheating on their wife or whether the girl is underage or whatever it might be, that might provide some, what is that, compromat?
Compromat.
Then they would go for. And that's what you're suggesting. Maybe that email was suggesting.
Well, yeah, it was the setup. It was a setup.
Okay.
It was the first mention of only bringing the girls this time around, and Epstein being fucking way too cool with that one. You know what I mean? Like,
so when we see these jokers with this look on their face, they already know. They know this is a show. This is like that's what we're watching, right? It's a joke.
Yep.
It's not recorded. There's no third-party observer. There's no journalists in the room that we know about, and it's a deposition they record, and clearly they edit it before they release it. You would have to be very naive to think they're not editing these before they release them at the speed of which transcribing goes these days. All right, let's listen to more of the Joker. Again, Bill Gates testifying today on Capitol Hill with this oversight committee on the Epstein case. But we won't get to see it. We'll only get to hear about it and then talk about it once the filtered testimony comes out.
I'll brief you. Just be careful what you hear from certain members that stay in there for 5 minutes and trot out talking points that I have found not to be true. And hopefully if you read the transcript, you'll see they're not true.
Mr. Chairman, just on the overall timeline, I mean, we're already mid-June.
Now, also, I want to correct myself. Groff's name appeared in the files 160,000 times. So not 250,000 times, 160,000 times in the DOJ's Epstein document release. But if we consider they've only released half, maybe she is in them over 250,000 times. She was also listed as a potential co-conspirator in the 2007 non-prosecution agreement, served a grand jury subpoena after Epstein's 2019 arrest, and she was investigated by federal prosecutors, but she was never charged. And prosecutors informed her in 2021 that no charges would be brought against her. Her testimony yesterday, she said she had been harassed. She testified that since Epstein's 2019 arrest, she's experienced death threats, public harassment, and severe emotional distress related to her association with Epstein. She stated that she regrets ever working for him. I bet she doesn't regret the size of her bank account, though. As of this morning, no official transcript of the deposition has been publicly released. The interview was conducted behind closed doors, and media reports are based on Groff's prepared opening statement, comments from lawmakers afterwards, and reporting from journalists who obtained portions of the statement. So, again, this was a testimony that took place yesterday. And here we are today. We still don't have that testimony.
All right, so I just ran, like, you know me, I'm not a big fan of AI and tasking it with anything just because it likes to go.
It's great. You just have to know the limits.
Yeah, it goes down the safety route of just not telling you anything you're looking for. But this time it actually smartened itself up and was very honest. Because I was like, okay, what could be insinuated from him only having a table filled with women there in 2015 at this gala?
Exactly what you proposed.
Oh, a little bit more. It said, well, by 2014, he was already being charged. By 2015, he couldn't show his face in public. So the only reason for doing this is for open source gathering of information, compromise, right, by the women on who was in attendance. But it's wild because I didn't think it was going to tell me that. I thought it was going to say, it also said that he's affiliated with the Robin Hood Gala, which is super exclusive. We could never get a ticket into this place. Super, super exclusive, but he is an anonymous backer behind the gala itself. Like, so he's instrumental in that gala in the first place. So
he's got the side door to the side door.
Yep. That he can't even show his face in, but he can participate in making sure that gala happens and that his girls were allowed to go.
And that his targets show up.
And now I find that kind of crazy because it takes a little bit away from the people who got caught up in the compromise. Sure, they still did dumb enough shit to get caught up in it. But at least with this, we're finding out that, like, he's already verboten. The public didn't hear about Epstein in 2014, but the fucking elites already knew. So what the
Oh,
fuck
yeah.
are they doing still hanging out with his ass and still doing business? I.e. Bill Gates, you fucking clown. You have all the money in the world and can't do a simple background check on fucking anyone? Oh, we know you do background checks because of your fucking company that you background check people before hiring. But you working in tandem with a billionaire who's a fucking sex offender, you're not going to look into that? Scumbag fuck.
Well, now he did apologize to his company.
Okay. All right. He's forgiven.
I think he was sincere. I mean, seemed like he felt pretty
Was
bad.
that the same interview he giggled then? He was like, Epstein's dead, so there's that. Hee hee.
Oh my God, so weird.
He giggled so hard during that whole thing, like he couldn't wipe the
Yes.
smirk off his fucking face.
He was glad Epstein was dead. One less headache to deal with. And he must have had some kind of cleanup crew that went in there and made sure his shit wasn't included. Allegedly. All right, back to Comer, who says the entire problem with the Epstein investigation at this point is the Democrats.
Your expectation for what you can really get done before the end of the year.
Well, that's true. We're on a time clock. We've got Leon Black coming in and Doug Band this month. Then we have Kathy Rumler, Jess Staley, and as I said, we're going to try to bring in Dershowitz, and hopefully we'll hear from Todd Blanche. So we'd like to do all that in July.
Do you want to hear from Blanche in the transcribed interview, or how are you hoping? What sort of
Look, we just have questions.
Yeah, you're going to
We
hear
have
from
questions
Todd
for-
Blanche. He's going to say,
for
fuck you.
Mr. Blanche. But again, I want to make sure everyone gets this. He came in, and if the Democrats had stayed, Pam Bondi said during that briefing that Todd Blanche was the one in charge of the Epstein investigation. That wasn't news when Bondi came in for her interview. That wasn't news. She said that in the briefing, but the Democrats weren't there because they tiptoed out to cry to you all. So I think that the main thing that we have for Blanche is the question on what, if any, documents are left out there. So that's the main question that we have for Blanche. But again, he's already come in once.
Are you just questioning Mr. Gates' personal conduct or the Gates Foundation entirely?
Well, I'm sure there'll be lots of questions from lots of different members. I know the first hour, but that email is definitely going to be addressed. I mean, I think that everybody in America has questions about that email.
The foundation.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I don't want to say anything to spook the attorneys who are watching this right now to go on. So thank you all. We'll be out.
What?
Easier if we just go in.
Do you hear that, journalist? That journalist
what did
literally
he say?
he literally said it'd be easier if you just let us go in.
I can't believe he said he doesn't want to spook the attorneys. Like, get
What
a
the
fucking
fuck?
backbone, everybody. You
Oh
fucking
my
feckless cunts.
God.
Oh, this is riling me up today. I apologize for the
These
language.
people must not have daughters. That's my thought on the matter.
And if they do, they need to be investigated because, like, I don't know how you'd be okay with allowing somebody else's daughter to get taken advantage of like this.
It's insane. Okay, so that was Comer. Now this goes on for a while. Let's see who else we get here. We get some chick with an ugly look on her face. Who's this? You know who this is?
Got no idea who the hell that is. He looks like a
fucking Democrat.
Yeah, it looks like a Jared Kushner buddy, if I'm being honest. It kind of looks like a Jared Kushner fucking clone with glasses,
Jared
a little
Kushner
bit
clone?
Yeah, a little bit different a face.
A Kushner clone. So yeah, so what's crazy is like this is like a bunch of journalists just standing outside of where they're having this hearing. I don't know, hoping to overhear something. The senators will step out here and there and make statements. Democrats will step out and say how it's Republicans are fucking up. The Republicans will step out and say how the Democrats are fucking up. Nobody seems to care about getting to the bottom of what the fuck was going on, which it's such a tangled web, right? Because the guy was everywhere from JPL to private islands to Washington, D.C. at the White House. He was everywhere. All right, who's this joker?
you're seeking today from Bill Gates? We heard Chairman Comer already say there's been no alleged crime, but obviously you can't provide some insight. What are you hoping to get from this?
Well, I think we want to understand whether the public statements that Mr. Gates has made about his relationship with Epstein are fully truthful and accurate. Obviously, the files contain some interesting and troubling emails. Epstein's clear attempt to leverage or perhaps even blackmail Gates over his relationship with one of the.
Okay, do me a favor, Flak, because I know you're looking at some of these Groff emails. Look at some of the more, give us some good examples of some of these crazy Bill Gates emails, because I know in one of them, Epstein was talking about how Gates was on drugs and he wanted to drug his wife and some kind of thing with prostitutes.
No problemo,
Or
buddy.
he got an STD. Was that what it was?
Yeah, I'll look into it because the one problem though, that is an email from Jeffrey to Jeffrey. Like it was like he was
right.
drafting out the blackmail that he was trying to do, and also drafting it with like, okay, how do I not get in trouble for sending this to him and looking like I'm trying to blackmail him? Oh, I'll just go the good guy route of I didn't tattle on you when I had all of this evidence on your ass. Is kind of what it seemed like.
And Bill Gates people and Bill Gates, of course, came out and said, oh, it's totally erroneous. There's no way there's any truth to any of this, so on and so forth. Of course, as you would expect that they would. But yeah, if you can find any of those, because let's share this other one Flak found with us with the group here, because this one is really interesting. Going back to that dinner party.
All right, I've already found it. I'm just sending it right over to you now.
So this is Lesley Groff, and this one says, good luck. I know blank is in the final stretch as well. Good luck to you both. Let me know if you need me to help with anything regarding the dinner. Hi, Lesley. Sorry for the delay. Stressed with final week of school. Thank you. So kind and sweet of Jeffrey. Smiley face. Jeffrey wants to make sure you organize a dinner for you, parents, and the girls for May 20th. Sincerely, blank.
Fucking parents, bro. I don't care if my daughter is 25 and I find out she's a fucking call girl for a billionaire. I'm not going to a fucking dinner with him. What the fuck are we looking at right now?
Is this the world we live in now?
I think so, because you hear about how some of the baby farms operate, right? Where some of the parents are willing contributors to whatever. That's what we had with the John of God stuff, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is not controversial here. John of God had a baby farm that he was charged with. He got, I think, 190 years consecutive.
You know, give us a 90,000 foot view of this case real quick, because some people, like, I don't know what you're talking about. These people, a lot of people don't know what you're talking about. John of God is who?
John of God, most notable from the affiliation with Oprah. He was a faith healer, quote unquote, right? Who was from Brazil. He had basically a cult that he operated with high-level celebrities, including Oprah, including, we'll just go with two, because these two are fucking damning anyway. The other one is Marina Abramovich. I'm going to send you a photograph right now of Marina Abramovich holding open the eye of one of the victims while John of God scrapes that eyeball with a scalpel. Okay? No one is under anesthesia. And now this is Marina Abramovich, the witch of fucking of the celebrity world that, like, oh, it's all conspiracy theory. Okay, but she's now holding
is this the
the
one
eye
that
open of
makes
a victim.
the cake that looks like people and
yeah, the spirit cooking, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So she deserved to be in jail too for her participation in maiming permanently the victims of John of God's cult. But there's a full video, like an hour presentation that Oprah put out, a documentary, basically promoting this fucking guy, right? Okay. So now what you're going to notice in that documentary is John of God has his little throne that he sits in, and exactly opposite of that throne, same size, same shape, same color, and in the same outfit, Oprah is sat right across. Okay? And now everyone else is paying their respects to both Oprah and fucking John of God. That we don't have to show because that will get us fucking clipped and copyrighted to hell.
Whoa,
Oprah,
I'm sure.
But I will send you that photo of Marina.
Wow. That is fucking incredible. So So Oprah is helping this guy, and he is doing these. I mean, murder was involved, allegedly.
Yeah. Well, he did open surgery, so like he'd cut you open wherever the fuck that may be. I just sent you. Actually, let me see. I think I sent it to you. Oh no, here we go. Just because I'd like this to be on the screen while we talk about it.
Like it makes me think of Indiana Jones Temple of Doom. You remember that shit?
Yep. Except like, so there is a
Like
bit of
reach in
con
and take out their
artistry.
kidney.
Yeah, so there is a bit
Yes.
of con artistry that goes along
Yeah.
with some of this stuff, but there's
Yeah.
videos of him actually cutting people open. Right, so he'd fake cut you open, pull a piece of chicken gizzard out of his other hand,
Right.
you know,
Right.
to make
That
it look
was
like
a thing, like in the 90s, I remember.
Yep. This guy actually
Yeah.
did that shit though. He didn't have any
But
fucking
he-
fake chicken gizzards or anything.
No, he tried to pull out your real gizzard.
So now check your DMs. I just sent you the
Okay.
photograph of. It's actually a whole post, so there's a bit of information going
Oh,
on with it.
okay. Yeah, we won't show that. You think we should show that?
Fuck yeah, fuck Marina. If this gets us anything, it's because whoever the fuck gave us that strike is in on it.
Okay. Well,
This is
I
well
would-
known and well documented. I got this photo from fucking Getty Images.
It's not too insanely graphic.
No, there's no blood. There's no nothing. It's actually it's pretty tame from what we've
It
showed in
looks
the files.
like a
I could just show it, Gabe. I don't think we can get in trouble.
it looks like what you would do before some type of procedure, right? That's what it looks like.
He has a scalpel. That's an X-Acto blade is pretty sharp, but a scalpel is medical sharp, dude. And he is scraping the cornea of someone. And now you have Marina Abramovich with a fucking flashlight,
Holding a light.
Yeah, while he's doing this, and those white outfits are a signature of the cult.
And you found this. Where did you find this?
Oh, this is publicly available. I think I got this one from either Alamy or Getty Images.
Okay. No way it could be AI.
No possible fucking way, dude. This is 100% real. If you know what, see if you can do a reverse image search and see where the first time this was posted, because I'm pretty sure it was around like 2013, maybe a little earlier, 2012.
Okay, I'm gonna have to switch back to dude here for a minute while I try to do that. And while I'm doing that, let's take a listen to what this guy has to say. We don't know who he is, but but he has access to the room and to ask questions apparently. So let's hear what he has to say. This is again Bill Gates being questioned in D.C. today on Capitol Hill.
Russian women and Epstein, providing payments to that woman, and the email from Epstein to Gates asking for reimbursement of those payments. We don't know whether or how Gates responded to that. I think that's important. The relationship between Epstein, Gates, and Ms. Walker, who says she was introduced to Epstein by Donald Trump. I want to learn more about all of that. So a lot of important questions today.
You also mentioned that he said it was hard to believe some of the testimony you guys got from Lesley Groff and from Wes Wexner. He said the committee is going to be seeking to figure out whether there were provably false statements there. Your take on that? Do you think crimes were committed by people making false statements?
I agree with the chairman, Ms. Groff, especially hard to believe 18 years as Epstein's assistant, had no knowledge of the crimes that were being committed, the crimes that she scheduled, quite frankly. Hard to believe that. It's one of the reasons why I and other Democrats have been pushing the Department of Justice to reopen these investigations. You mentioned Les Wexner, never even questioned by the FBI. Kahn and Indike, never questioned by the FBI. Basic investigative work that was never done across multiple administrations. But right now, the Trump administration and Todd Blanche of the Department of Justice have the opportunity to reopen this investigation, ask these questions, determine whether there are new prosecutions that need to be pursued, and that's what we want to see. Thank you. I heard that 5 minutes ago. If that's true, I'm very glad to hear that. Yesterday, Chairman Comer was saying he didn't think Todd Blanche needed to come in. I'm glad he's changed his mind if that's the case. I'm certainly going to be pushing for that to be in public, at least videotape, so the American people can see, especially if Todd Blanche is potentially going to be.
So wait, yesterday in the hearing, Comer's like, we don't need Todd Blanche. And then today in front of the cameras, he's like, oh, we're going to get Todd Blanche.
So now I just did a couple of screen grabs from that documentary that Oprah did.
Okay.
With John of God, and it just sent you photographs over, and there's nothing violent. There's nothing you got to worry about.
It's just so crazy. So this guy now, is he in trouble now? Is he in prison?
He's in jail.
Now?
He's in prison for 150 years, like a consecutive. Like a what you want to know?
What were the actual charges? Do you know?
Oh, operating a baby farm, doing open surgeries, being a con artist.
When you say baby farm, what is a baby farm?
Basically raping his congregates and then selling the babies off for trafficking purposes.
Oh boy!
Caught doing this. Right. So this is we're not speculating. I don't have to say allegedly.
Set him up like in a sting.
Yeah. You know what I'm going to do right now? I'm going to go and look up the full set of charges that he has been found guilty of.
Yeah.
Just so I can run through the list, because this is Brazil. We consider Brazil with our justice system as a third world country, right? Like their justice system is not as robust as ours. We come from America. Our justice system is the best in the whole world, as Trump would say, right? How are they doing better job at prosecuting these fucking monsters than we are?
Right. So here's one said image. I'm kind of getting them uploaded here, but they look awful close, awful cuddly. Now, Oprah seems to be like a victim of personality. She falls in love with the personality and she kind of overlooks everything else. What do you think was her attraction to this guy? Was it the same thing? He just had like a big personality?
Cult of personality, right? Like something that she felt kinship with, right? Because she has a cult-like presence with her people who buy every book she fucking spouts. Even though her books, every book she recommends, somehow the guy gets caught up for being a total liar and a fake. Like The Million Little Pieces. I don't know if you remember that, but she brought out a book that was supposedly true. Turns out the guy was a fucking liar, and he lied about everything that was in the book. And then after he was on her show, people looked into his past and found out that he was a liar. So she had to come back on her show a couple of weeks later and apologize for the whole fucking mess. But she does this shit all the time. It's the same thing. Like, okay, if you were about to promote, I don't know, let's say I wrote a book, right? And me and you had never met before, but like I send you the book, tell you about the promotion thing, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be like 20 grand to promote this book for me, right? I would hope that you would go, let me make sure that if this book is like says it's true, let me fact check some of those things. Let me make sure that like my background is what I say it is. You know, like, and this is you as a normal person. I'd expect you to do that. Her as somebody who has a platform of millions, I would expect to go a little farther. Yeah. So now this is Marina in the same outfit in that little throne I was discussing, because Oprah's not there at this point in time. So she has taken the queen throne opposite of John of God. So this is one of his. This is Brazil in his fake place. Yeah. So his pictures of Jesus all over the place, but I don't think Jesus would want you going around cutting into people's fucking eyeballs and things. And
how do you know, Flak? It's awful judgmental of you.
Oh, I'm pretty sure there's a commandment or 30 about those fucking things. And then the other thing is, she is sat in a room wearing white with all these Jesus things. How many pictures is she in wearing satanic garb, doing some kind of satanic ritual? You know, and this is me saying satanic ritual because I know what all this shit is. I've studied this stuff. You know, so like I know what I'm looking at when I see the symbols, when I see the acts being done. Like, this is a guise. This is a ruse meant to trap vulnerable people.
You know, the thought that always crosses my mind is there is this darker reality, but there's like the showmanship of it, and then there's like the real dark reality. And sometimes I wonder if the real dark reality would let itself be seen in pictures like this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, you don't get a full view of what the fuck is going on, right? Like you're only
Right.
getting a snapshot of what they're allowing to get out because these are press release images. So this is supposed to be promoting his cult. That's the whole reason why they have the celebrities there. It's like Nexium. It's like all the other cults that have celebrities. Scientology, dude. What the fuck is the point of having John Travolta and Tom Cruise as a headpiece of your cult, right? It's the celebrity draw-in factor. You're going to get at least 1/3 of their fan base looking into you now. If they find out their favorite celebrity is doing whatever,
Oprah launches careers.
Yup. And now look at this. Notice how she's wearing the same fucking outfit as him. None of the other congregates look exactly like him. None of the other congregates look exactly like Marina Abramovich. It's because they're higher up in the cult.
Now, do you know what year this was?
I believe
was this 90s, early
no,
2000s?
late 2010s, I'd say, probably around like 2009 to like 2012 time span.
Interesting.
But I've got his set of charges. I got a set of charges pulled up. He was prosecuted through a rolling series of separate criminal trials in the state of Goiás, Brazil, because hundreds of victims came forward. The judiciary could not try them all at once, resulting in consecutive indictments and convictions spanning from 2019 to 2023. Sexual violence charges, rape of vulnerable individuals. That's two different charges. So rape is one, rape of a vulnerable individual is another. Rape by fraud, deception. So that's like intentionally misleading victims into believing sexual acts were mandatory components of a spiritual medical treatment.
Yeah.
Illegal possession of firearms, possession of restricted, unregistered ammunition. First conviction was in December 2019. He received 19 years and 4 months for the 4 rapes of 4 women. Second conviction, 40 years of the rapes of 5 additional women. Subsequent rolling dockets increased his combined sentence to over 63 years, 2023, and a massive consolidated ruling covering 17 district cases dating back as far as 1973. They got this motherfucker under. Judge Marcos Bochet added an additional 118 years, 6 months, and 15 days to his sentence for rape by a fraud rape of vulnerable individuals. His total combined cumulative prison sentences across all, approximately 370 years consecutively serving. So it's not like he can run it concurrent. So this is...
he'll die in prison.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you have to understand, like sometimes, like in the U.S., they'll go, "Oh, that's too much. We'll seem like we're trying to be too harsh on this individual." So what they would do is they go, "We'll consider some of that time served. We'll have it all run together. So if it's 90 years and then he gets another 15, they'll just throw the 90 with the 15, as opposed to 90 plus 15."
Well, there's so many shortcomings in our justice system. You know, this is a system that just recently, we watched Bill Cosby walk out. We're watching this Murdaugh guy get a new trial because of the stupid fucking court clerk. It's just, we see so many examples of this justice system just completely fucking up. I was investigating one here in my local town, and it was fucking shocking. This was a murder investigation where they had completely dropped the ball. They had the right guy and they could not prosecute him. It was insane. And then the second he got out, literally within a couple of weeks, did it again.
All right. I didn't even finish the full set of charges, by the way. We didn't get to the baby farm
Yeah.
stuff.
Good. God. Yeah. Let's hear the baby farm stuff.
Okay. Here we go. Okay, so the forced breeding, which was young women and teenagers were allegedly kept in isolation conditions at properties, farms, and illegal gem mining sites owned by Faria. The 10-year cycle. Allegations stated that some victims were systematically impregnated over periods lasting 10 years to produce infants for the black market. The newborns were reportedly trafficked to wealthy foreign buyers in at least 5 countries. Oh, That's kind of wild. The 5 countries were United States, Australia, Germany, Austria, and France. This sounds kind of like what Epstein was up to. This also sounds like every fucking claim that was brought against the celebrities that were involved in Epstein shit. But this is we can say that this is tied legally to what John of God was actually doing.
I would almost
with Oprah, with Marina Abramovich, and now who's the tie-in? Because Oprah doesn't have too much connection with Epstein, but Marina has a ton of overlaps with Epstein.
Right, and a ton of
and
overlap
Microsoft.
with...
Remember, Marina did that commercial, the VR headset shit for Microsoft and Bill Gates, where it was up for 2 fucking days, dude. 2 days before it had to get wiped from the internet because people lost their shit that he brought this crazy bitch into Microsoft.
They just did a Jay-Z just did a music video with her.
Jay-Z is a fucking scumbag. Like, I can't wait till he gets his day in court.
Well, he'll be what if they're all flying off to the tropical islands now?
Yep. I wonder why.
I was like, wait, who flew out there? The guy from Run DMC flew out there? What the fuck? What's going on? The Rush Card guy? He flew out to what island? It's getting chippy out there. It's getting chippy. Okay. So I skipped through the last guy that we had because I don't even know who he is. I know this guy is one of the main Democratic guys. And this is his little spiel before getting to question Bill Gates a little bit earlier today.
Just gonna make a quick statement before we get started. So let me just first say that I'm really glad that Chairman Comer finally agreed to bring in Todd Blanche. Just yesterday, he was saying that he didn't think we needed to hear from Todd Blanche. And so the fact that he's agreed to bring him in, I think is really, really important. But I do want to add that it's very important.
Really trying to peg him on that Blanche thing, aren't they?
Yeah, hold on. That's why is Congress suggesting that people don't go in? Get everybody you fucking can. You're wasting our tax dollars anyway. If you're going to waste it fucking completely. You know what I mean? Like, bring every motherfucker in who even was slightly mentioned in these files.
I don't understand. And then, like, this is division. This is what they're doing because Comer said he didn't want Blanche to come on. And then they just heard him in that interview said he did want Blanche to come in. They know Blanche was just nominated for the AG position and that he doesn't want anything to do with any of this Epstein shit.
Yeah, we saw what happened to Bondi when she didn't want to do anything to do with this Epstein shit. And this is the whole thing. We've now watched the burning of every single asset they had, railing on about the Epstein files before, and then getting into the position and then closing their fucking eyes to all this shit. Get them all out. Fuck all these politicians.
How many of the podcasters that became? I mean, how do you go from podcaster to director of the FBI?
Yep. Well, are we talking about Patel or
Yeah, I'm talking about Patel. Bongino's out already.
But Bongino at least came in from the Secret Service. You know what I mean? Like not giving him any credit at all because he's a piece of shit too.
But he had the resume.
Yep. To at least do the job in some capacity that he didn't do in the first place. But like I just don't understand how this corruption could be so deeply set in and then ignored by the general public. Like, we should be peacefully fucking standing on Capitol Hill in the hundreds of thousands. There's more than how many million people exist in the United States? One fraction of that.
A gallon of milk is $6. We can't.
Man, if only there was one billionaire out there who wasn't a total piece of shit, he could buy milk for everyone. Anyone who attends, you get fucking a lifetime supply of free milk.
We could call him Sir Milk's a lot.
Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. But we're only seeing a cover up at this point, I think, and they're trying to do just enough to get people to shut up, I think.
Well, again, to me, the timing of the David Grush at the Capitol Hill speaking yesterday, to me, could not have been more grifty. There's all this shit going on with Epstein right now. Real shit.
He's got a little bit of the tism. Right, so I'm willing to cut him the slightest, and I don't mean very much slack, but slightest.
all his cast and crew were behind him, buddy. Burleson, Burchett, Luna. They were all out there with
Luna was there. Luna should fuck off into this fucking meeting. Why the fuck wasn't she in the closed door fucking thing? Oh, because she didn't want to hear shit that's going to force her to do her job, probably, or force her to open her mouth about, hey, this guy's lying. Like anyone who reads these files gets a good feel for how these people lie.
Epstein is so yesterday, you guys. Okay, it's all about NHI. All right.
What's funny is like I've been way more interested in aliens and UFOs and all that shit than I ever was or ever could have been about the sex trafficking shit. Like that's a vile. It was only seeing that no one else was paying attention that it forced me to be like, oh no, this is weird. I'm looking at an anomaly here. That forced me to get into this subject. And now I can't fucking leave it because no one else is doing anything within the capacity of the government, you know?
Clean your own house first. You want to introduce aliens to society where we sex traffic
they want
minors?
to introduce aliens to pedophiles is what they want to do. Big congressional pedophiles. And now this is right. So this is where I sidestep all the shit that Greer was talking about the love and light of these fucking aliens, right?
Sure.
I doubt that because if they knew the fucking shit that these people were up to behind the scenes, they wouldn't want to meet them.
Well, he would argue some do. He would argue some do.
Maybe if they're good, I'm talking about. If they're bad aliens who also like to do the abducting, maybe these are the exact people you'd want to talk to because they do the abducting as well.
That's the only thing that really gets me about Greer, right? Is that like he will not consider that any of it could be negative. Like, dude,
well, it's
a big universe.
Dissonance, you know, that's like his cognitive dissonance, which I don't blame him for, dude. Like, I don't want to live in this pessimistic world. It's fucked.
Right.
But
and
like,
his experiences could have shown him that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Especially his treatment by his own government.
When I talked to Eric about his experience with that orb, it was fucking scary, man. It wasn't fucking love and light. He was scared to death. So, you know,
I'm friends with a lot of love and lighters, by the way. Your opinion on politics doesn't block off friendship. You know what I mean?
Oh, no.
I don't give a shit about any of those things because politicians are all liars. I'm not gonna damn anyone for having an opinion on any of those things.
The only reason we're watching politicians right now is because for whatever reason, they're the only ones that get to ask questions that may not even matter in this Epstein case that most of the Trump White House and most of the DOJ, especially after Todd Blanche gets nominated, doesn't fucking care about anymore. They're ready to put it behind them. They're over it. They've been over it. They're done. It's over. No, it's not.
It's so annoying because like we're seeing other countries that we look down on justice-wise doing the right thing on some of these.
Right.
Not all of them, but some of them. Like Brazil, dude. Like how many times have we seen movies where Brazil is shown and it's all those fucking shack houses on the side of cliffs and things, right?
Mafioso.
Heavy corruption.
Drug dealers.
Right?
Yeah.
But they're willing to prosecute John of God, you know, time and time again. This is the thing, right? Like the DOJ tried to cram every victim they could find into one trial, right? And then more victims kept coming forward. So they had to kind of like shoehorn them in, drag shit out. Every time new victims came forward, they would start a new prosecution for John of God. Why didn't that happen with Epstein? Why didn't that happen with any of his cohorts? It's possible. It just means that they're fucking lazy and they're trying to. Well, that was illegal anyway. You can't fucking do that,
dude.
Like I don't understand how.
I don't know if you watched this latest hearing where they had the hearing down in Palm Beach. You know, it was the victim's testimony hearing. It was where I got that video of Maria Farmer and some of the other victims' testimony. And they had said down there that, I just lost my train of thought. What were we talking about?
The victim's testimony in Palm Beach.
The victim's testimony in Palm Beach. So so they were talking about, but what was before that? Because I went into that for a reason. Oh, darn it. Don't you hate it when you lose your train of thought like that?
100%, because that's I don't know where the hell you were going with that.
I don't either.
I was
either.
like, fuck
It's
yeah.
lost,
What about the victims? Let's go, buddy.
At whatever rate, that's so Maria Farmer.
Maria Farmer. There you go.
That's the testimony I got from that hearing down there, and she reported it in 1996 to her local law enforcement. Her local law enforcement said, "We can't do a lot about this. Here's a card for our FBI representative. Give the FBI a call." Like, that's what they told to a victim. So she calls the FBI in 1996.
This is the wild part, right? Her younger sister was also involved, and they both testified. Like, you had two fucking, and they weren't drug addicts. You know what I mean? Like, this is right after the abuse had taken place. I wouldn't say maybe right after, but this is within years of that. And if you listen to Maria Farmer, she's not wacky in any other way other than like a fucking artist could be wacky. You know, she delivers her fucking argument without freaking out, without causing a bunch of shit. She does the right thing when it comes to like delivering her testimony, because I've heard her speak. The only thing that I ever had a problem with what she said was like she was paying like $3,000-4,000 for art supplies. And this is like 2018 when art supplies weren't exactly that expensive, but you have one tube of golden paint, oil paint, which is 50. Yeah, it is expensive. Yeah. Like you totally could spend fucking $3,000 on art supplies, especially if you're getting like 10, 15 canvases and all sorts of stuff like that. But that was the only thing I ever had a problem with what she said, was just the amount she spent on art supplies, which is the dumbest thing to have a problem with. So
yeah. So I mean, that's like.
But she was also saying that she got $3,000 for a painting, or $4,000 for a painting, which is a pittance compared to what Epstein pays for fucking his art in the first place. Right. So I was like, no, that's fucked up. But then she was like, I spent it all on art supplies, and I was like, that's bullshit. And then I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, no, it's not really that bullshit. You could spend $3,000 fucking easy on art supplies. Dude. So like, I got no problem with the shit she says. Like, she's a solid fucking victim, with solid testimony.
Yeah, and
photographic evidence too.
And they followed all the instructions they were given from both local law enforcement and the FBI. They did everything they were asked to do. They were told by the FBI not once, not twice, but 3 times over the span of a decade. Just imagine that, y'all. Imagine this case hanging over your head for 10 years of your life. And you get to the end of that 10 years and the FBI finally goes, so we've closed that case. We've got resolution, but the resolution is a secret. We can't tell you what it is. Literally what they told her.
Pathetic, dude. Fucking absolutely pathetic, man. And we're supposed to respect the institutions that we have in place right now.
That's where our tax dollars go. Zero protection for a victim of what could be a very high crime, possibly up to the White House. Fucking
I just want to say I'm on like my 3rd cup of coffee right now.
All right.
I love it. Fueling the absolute rage that's going on inside.
Okay, well, hey, here's a Democrat. Let's hear what the terrible, stupid Democrats have to say before they're about to go in and question Bill Gates.
That's videotaped and released to the American public. And that was actually our full request. So it's not enough to just get Blanche in. We have to have Blanche under oath. It's got to be videotaped and released to the public. That was our full request of Chairman Comer as it relates to Blanche, and we're going to continue to make that request. As it relates to Mr. Gates, obviously we just started the questioning. We are very interested in understanding who was in Epstein's orbit. What did Mr. Gates actually see? We're certainly going to be asking about some of the emails that were in the files as they relate to Mr. Gates' possible activities with Mr. Epstein. But anyone that was around Jeffrey Epstein, we want to hear from. And like I said before, we don't care if they're a Democrat or Republican or how influential they are. If they were involved with Epstein, we want to get to that truth. So that's what today's going to be about.
Why would it matter if you're a Democrat or Republican?
It shouldn't. It really shouldn't.
Why would you even bring that into it?
I'm all about fucking getting Lutnick's ass in there too. He's a fucking Republican.
He was
now.
in there. He was in there. Clearly,
What,
you
yesterday,
haven't
or
watched
was
my
this
episodes
yesterday, or we're talking about when he went in the other day?
when he went in a couple weeks ago? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I remember
week and a
that one.
half
I mean, like,
ago.
bring his ass in every fucking one of these. You know what I mean?
How
Because
many
new
times-
information keeps get.
How many times can he answer the same question?
We should be getting new questions once they find out he's a lying
So he can
cocksucker. You know.
new questions, so he can say, "Oh, I'm sorry. On the advice of my counsel, I'm sorry."
But this
I
is supposed to
can't
be
answer that
also
question."
like a like once you find him lying once, you can hit him with perjury. You know, like that's what is supposed to happen. It's not
But
supposed to
they'll
be.
claim the fifth, buddy. That's what I'm saying. If
He
there's no
didn't. He didn't.
answer,
Though. He didn't claim the fifth on a lot of these. He said he never
No?
went to the island with his kid, and he
Okay.
did. He said that he only met him
Really?
in his. Yeah, he said he only met him
We're gonna
once in
have
his
to get-
apartment with his wife.
we're
And
gonna
then,
have to do an episode and get that testimony up because it's probably out there now.
well,
the
I believe the
filtered version.
transcripts are out there. I don't know if
Yeah.
we got the videotaped one, but he
No, there
lied.
was there a videotape one?
No, I don't. I think it was a closed session, just like all
Yeah,
of
I don't
these
think
are.
any of them have been, but it would be interesting to do an episode and go over his testimony and then find probably the plethora of inconsistencies. Like I can probably literally find video of him doing the exact opposite of what he says he's not been doing. So I think that would be an interesting one. Probably with all these folks, we could do that, right?
Oh yeah, I'm up for any of it, dude. Like I don't know, this kind of is close to my heart, man. Like I really feel
know.
bad for these people. So
Dude,
anything
me
that we
too.
can do to if we could just elucidate the public on how bad these fuckers are and that they're running
It's
the
like-
country like
We're the most powerful nation on earth, right? We brag about that all the time. And our justice system isn't perfect, but it's good, and we're always trying to make it better and stronger and more efficient. Our politicians are dirty liars have been a thing since I was born. That's just how it is here.
what I really
But-
want to do is because we showed one photograph of the was like the police uniforms and stuff that he had in his closet.
Oh, I know.
I'd
That was
like
weird.
to do at least a dedicated maybe 30 minutes where we run through all the images that he has where he has different types of military garb or police garb or whatever,
Yeah.
law enforcement, right? And then we also go through what the hell that could implicate.
Well, Gray Owl sent me. Remember when I brought up that picture of that person in the what looked like a cockpit, but their face was blanked out?
Yep.
Yeah,
The one
Gray
with the
Owl-
lady hands?
Yeah. Gray Owl sent me an email. He thinks he figured out who it is. I'm not going to post it up yet, but just wanted to share that with you. I thought it was pretty interesting.
Fuck yeah, Gray Owl's the shit, dude. He always
Dude,
comes
I
in
love
with
it.
Some
I love
fire
it.
in the fucking chats, bro.
Yeah, he's probably out working right now. Okay, so let's go back.
That's good
to-
because it's more honest that we gave him a shout out when he's not even here. You know, then we get to
Absolutely.
tell him, hey, go check the last episode. There's a little present for you.
Oh yeah. Okay, let's go back to this Joker here, and then, well, actually, I did want to ask you one question before we go back, and my question is: you are now Senator Flak Magnet, and you have Bill Gates in front of you today. I'm not going to say what's the first question, but what is a question you would want to ask him that you feel like needs answering?
Where is all the money coming from, and where is all the money going? Right, like you got big financiers all over the board, yet you still have involvement from the likes of Bill Gates. Because if this is not a money thing, then what was it? Right. So I would come at it from the financial angle, and then once he dispels all financial things, then you have him dead to rights on, okay, so this wasn't a financial relationship like you had claimed in the past. You know, there's different angles that the questioning should follow. You know what I mean? Where you have him paint himself into a corner and then have him try to explain it out, because he's not that smart. He's good at certain things, but he's not a genius. You know,
No,
I
he's
don't
good at
think
acquiring geniuses work.
Yeah, same thing with Epstein. Epstein, I don't think that he was a fucking genius. I think that he was better at running scams and doing things that other people aren't willing to do than certain other people.
Well,
Which
this Robin Hood thing is very interesting.
we didn't even fully crack into that. I'm going to be researching that shit tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. Very, very interesting. Okay. Let's get back to one of the weasels here.
From Chairman Comer on if this will be a formal subpoena, if the formal request to Mr. Blanche has gone out, how is this going to play out?
So we haven't gotten anything directly from James, from Mr. Comer yet, but our request has been very clear: is that it has to be a.
He like literally just said it 5 minutes
now
ago.
About the nominee to be Attorney General on the Senate side. This is not acting. He's not the deputy, and he may be the attorney when he gets here or not. And so if that's the case, it has to be under oath. And quite frankly, it should be a public hearing. I mean, that would be ideal. But if it's going to be an interview behind closed doors,
Why
it needs
isn't
to be a
it?
deposition under oath.
Why isn't it? Why don't any of these journalists ask that?
I think it's great. I mean, look, that's someone that obviously was very involved with Jeffrey Epstein. I think it's someone that we need to hear from. And we should want to hear from any person that was in that circle. Look, yesterday we heard obviously from Ms. Groff, who was a very close assistant, worked for Epstein for 18 years. And she provided a lot of names of individuals that worked in the Epstein orbit, that many of whom we've heard from other survivors that we want to speak with. And so there's going to be a lot of interviews ahead for us to sit down with and really get more information about what really happened and who knew what.
Do you share Representative Comer's concerns regarding Ms. Groff's testimony as well as Les Wexner? He sort of indicated that he found some of what was testified to surprising or maybe questionable.
I share those concerns. I think that there have been numerous interviews that we've conducted where I've found the witness to be not credible, and certainly to spend 18 years with someone and to not remember or have not really acknowledge the fact that there was rape and trafficking and abuse of minors happening. I mean, this is a woman who knew that Jeffrey Epstein had pleaded guilty of a horrific crime and then continued to work for him for many years after. And so there are additional questions. Look, and I'll just want to say this. There's a lot of folks that we have interviewed over the last 6 months, 8 months, that we're going to want to hear from again as we gather more information and evidence as well. Any final questions? Okay, thanks, guys.
Okay, but what is the end goal here? So we have this oversight committee. They gather all this information. They talk to all these witnesses. They give us the filtered depositions. Then what? Like, what are they going to do then? Anybody know?
I don't know what the fuck they're going to do with any of that. I think it's nothing. They're going to do a big fat nothing. They're just trying to placate enough of us to where it looks like they're maybe doing something, and then they just brush it under the rug. That's my opinion. Right. But what I think they need to do is they need to get Maureen Comey in that fucking room. They need to get a lot of people, but Maureen Comey helped hide a lot of this shit, and I mean like a lot. She was in there during his first. What was it? His first set of depositions and his first charges. Right. She's instrumental in having a lot of this shit brushed under the rug, right? And she's only this is the thing. She was salary capped, and she didn't really make too much money while she was in that position. But the second she fucking moved, her wealth has gone up considerably.
Really?
Yeah. So she was either helping him out of the goodness of her heart, by hiding things, working in conjunction with JP Morgan to make sure that all of their shit never seen the light of day. And guess what? Right. It's now seeing the light of day. So I think it was FDSNY was her the department that she worked as the head of.
Oh, okay. Here we go. We're gonna get some more questions and answers here. Let's see who this joker is.
Thank you. Should I just say what I...
No.
Should I just go ahead?
Don't say what you want to say.
Well, we've now been through the first hour of Mr. Gates' testimony. I'm a little concerned he's not terribly forthcoming or candid, as I'm concerned that he's not as candid or forthcoming as he can be. I'm looking forward to further questions about his background and relationship to Jeffrey Epstein. And I'm hopeful that he'll be more candid going forward.
I wonder what makes him hopeful and rather than a pessimistic prick like every other person is dealing with this right now.
Jeffrey Epstein was aware of those affairs, and it appears that he may have potentially used those affairs as some type of leverage that his friends and acquaintances of Bill Gates could have used against him. And so we need to kind of learn more, but I'm looking forward to learning more.
So they want to learn more, and you know what we're going to do? We're just going to show you more. This is the alleged crimes of Bill Gates here. Okay, so again, as you pointed out, this was a letter. I can't quite get it.
That's so annoying. It's shifting. Like I see you trying to make it bigger, and it's just spreading the text out more.
It's going to be small, I guess.
Do you want me to read it off, or actually, it's kind of impossible for me to read it off of this.
I got it.
Okay.
Dear Bill, I cannot believe that you have chosen to disregard our friendship developed over the last 6 years. I am aware that accidents happen. It is how each of us has chosen to deal with this unfortunate event that has me dismayed beyond comprehension. You've decided to discharge me from my job. Had Larry, your person, tell me that I engaged in morally inappropriate behavior, asked me to be the major actor in a cover-up so that you can maintain the reputation that you have worked so hard to achieve, asked me to recommit to a confidentiality agreement, and have categorically told me that we cannot have any direct ongoing business relationship, in total disregard for its impact on the public perception of my reputation. I will have to diligently avoid the truth, tell people that Bill will not invest with me, and craft an answer that suits your needs. But you did agree to send you a letter of recommendation should a future employer ask for one. You had told me that Melinda insists on me not communicating with you unless Larry is copied or present, though you have consistently maintained that I could not have done a better job and that I was underpaid compared to my contribution. You then, beyond all sense of fairness and frankly decency, said that as generous compensation for keeping the Gates reputation intact, you would let me keep what we agreed I had already owned, the investment pieces, and give me 2 years severance, similar to Christine Turner, another casualty. If the shoe was on the other foot, I would have said, Boris, this is not your fault. I confess to Melinda, you don't. It was in a moment of weakness, and I will do nothing within my power to make it right for you. I have more money than anyone needs, and I assure you I will structure something so that you will not be penalized for my error. Lucky for me, I have enough money to provide to you, though it will not heal the injury. It will make you secure in your future. In addition, I will bend over backwards to make sure your next career is rewarding and on an upswing. I appreciate the fact that this drastically alters your plans, and I'm very aware of the career path you gave up to join the foundation. I am very sorry, but as I believe time heals all wounds, this will eventually pass. In that regard, I suggest I buy you the house that you so had your heart set on. And in addition to 5 years of severance, we'll buy you out to the investment contract we had agreed, 30 to 40% of a $100 million partnership for $30 million in today's dollars, terms and conditions to be agreed. That's what I would have done had I been in your shoes. What did I receive, however, was an unfriendly, strongly worded email telling me how employable I am and that I should not look to you for any significant financial help in the future. To add insult to injury, you then implored me to please delete the emails regarding your STD. your request that I provide you antibiotics that you can shore titisol IV to Melinda and the description of your penis. You also made it clear to me that I am not to refer to as that is another topic that must remain between the two of us. In return for all these requests, which I would have done without a second thought, I am not to attend meetings with Melinda. I should continue to provide you the same level of service and dedication that I have so diligently until you are ready to discard me and our friendship. Whoa. That is discomforting. Okay, we're going to take a smoke break, y'all. And while we do that, we're going to watch this report that just dropped this morning on what's going on today at Capitol Hill.
Congress drawing new testimony from a key witness, Epstein's assistant of 18 years. Lawmakers now following leads that the Trump DOJ and its predecessors apparently abandoned, or worse, that Trump officials recently hid. So it's vital to recall how we got here, even if Donald Trump wishes this was not the top story tonight. First, last year, then Attorney General Bondi claimed in writing that there was actually no evidence for any other investigations against third parties who had not already been charged in this Epstein probe. And remember, she also said there should be no further disclosure of any Epstein files. That was her memo. That was the Trump-Bondi plan to bury and hide the Epstein files. It failed, as you know. Indeed, it was the Epstein files which later exposed how FBI investigators previously tracked several suspected co-conspirators, revealed in this long secret document that actually only came out when we started getting the Epstein files. We reported on it that night and in other reports, and I'll get into that. But what you're looking at is important because this was the then secret DOJ effort to diagram Epstein's then uncharged inner circle. And if you notice the lower left where we've added a square, this is government evidence, but we've added that square for your understanding of what's important today. That diagram includes today's witness, Lesley Groff. Now, we've reported on the timeline, the denials, the secrecy, the leaks, until these later files showed those abandoned leads. This was our case timeline. You remember how it all came back to life. And Groff matters more, perhaps, than some of Epstein's lawyers and accountants. You see the suspect list that was released there on the right. That's the one I'm talking about. She had the widest visibility on his plans and communications with all kinds of people, including some of the people you see on your screen who've only gotten in trouble or faced any kind of accountability since these files came out. The ones that I just reminded you, Bondi tried to hide and said in writing shouldn't be released. So before I tell you what she said today, and it's stuff that Donald Trump wishes wasn't in the news, remember that she was on the emails and in the arranged meetings for the powerful, for the staff, to the women. I need to go back a little bit. We're going back. Hold on, I want to slow down and tell you guys this. She was at the center. She was on site. So she was an eyewitness. You can see how many times she's in the files. And an email witness because she was on so many emails, her name appears more than anyone else. And she kept working for Epstein through his 2019 arrest, arranging the meetings with so many figures. So that's why it matters that now, after all these years, she showed up. You can see today, this is what happened today, showed up to testify to Congress. And in a time of great skepticism about our government, and it took people and pressure to get here, but under public pressure, I want you to understand that the Democrats on the committee who pushed hard for this and 26 Republicans came around, perhaps under pressure, but still came around to demanding this on a bipartisan basis. I'm not telling you we're all good and everything works. We're far from that. But I am telling you that people who said 2 years ago, well, how would you make the Congress do anything? And how could you get the Republicans on board? It would make Trump look bad. Well, here we are today, a bipartisan effort to get her and these other witnesses to speak to Congress, which again is supposed to represent you in the pursuit of the truth. So Groff's lawyer now says she was disgusted by Epstein's conduct. She testified today that he was a monster, a master manipulator, and a deceiver, separating his legitimate life from a secret life as an abuser. She recounts that she first took the job for about $50,000 a year, and that she tackled everything from scheduling to mundane tasks. She describes having to ensure today that he had his reading glasses at every single table at his home, so he never had to look for it. She told the committee that sometimes very late in the day, she'd have to source a dozen chocolate croissants made in New York to be delivered to Palm Beach by 9 the next morning. Amid those kind of details, she also asserts that she learned Epstein was actually a kind of a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde character. So her version of events, now that you see how central she was, and I've reminded you how Trump and Bondi fought for this ever to come out, her version of events is still that Epstein somehow hid his entire enterprise from her, even as she carried out this daily schedule and met his demands. Before I go more deeply into what she says, which is a kind of a defense of what she knew at the time, I want to give you a testimonial fact check. I'm reporting on her testimony. That's what she says. Before we go any further, I want you to know what other survivors say. They disagree with her account that she couldn't see any of this. They've previously stated that this key witness, Groff, arranged appointments with one victim when she was a minor, and that it was, quote, pretty obvious Lesley knew what was going on, an account given to the FBI in 2021. Groff told the FBI that she viewed booking Epstein's massages as a kind of standard appointment. But now that the public can see all the Epstein files, which again, we never had before, and which the FBI did have, the claim that these were just typical massages makes basically no sense. For example, this witness was arranging payments that were much, much higher than the most expensive massage services available. And this is what investigators do. You don't always have all the evidence to show, oh, someone admitted a crime, but here was an arrangement for a $1,000 payment in 2017, which is about $1,300 today, just accounting for inflation. Even top five-star spas don't charge $1,300 for the best, sort of most celebrated masseuse they have in the most expensive resorts. She also cited payments to a girl for time spent on the island, her other past emails.
So there's like clearly evidence of her knowing what was going on and actively participating in it. There's no way she didn't know what that money was for. That money was not for a massage. That money was not for a spa treatment. And she knew most of these girls weren't even of age, y'all. Okay, looks like Tim Burchett came out, said a few things. I'm getting that dialed up for us now. And this is, I think we're about, at this point, maybe an hour and a half into Bill Gates's testimony. So let's see what Mr. Burchett has to say so far.
You know, I'm Tim Burchett, and I'm a senator. What do you need? What do y'all want to ask me? Anything?
How long were you inside?
Well, I've been in twice. The Democrats are doing it right in their thing right now, so I didn't think I could stay, but I didn't think it's appropriate. But yeah, the questions are very intense, and just trying to get to the heart of his relationship his relationship with Epstein and the association there. If it's a business association or what, if there's I think there's some questions that alluded to some blackmail type things, what was going on there. And it's pretty clear to me, though, that Epstein was a friend collector. You know, he just liked to have people around him that were big deal and get his picture made with them and hang out with them. And I think that's how he reeled them in.
So is there anything that you're learning then during this testimony that you think could change the course of the investigation, lead to new convictions, anything that kind of advances where we already stand?
Of course, Mr. Gates is very couched in his replies, and I mean, he's very well coached too. He's got great attorneys, I assume. He's probably made more money in interest since more than all of us will make in a year just in this time I'm talking to you. So I don't know that we'll gather too much from this, actually.
Did you hear anything new?
Not yet, no, ma'am.
How was this demeanor?
He looked pretty downtrodden for a guy worth, several billions or whatever. I mean, he's like Oprah times 20, I think. I'm not sure he's he's pretty well off, but he did look pretty worn down and
Well, I guess programming ticks with like vaccines and getting him to attack people and give them vaccines, that's tiring work.
stress. But if I was his attorneys, that's exactly how I would coach him to be in front of this group.
Congressman, we've heard some people.
Good job yesterday at the UFO press conference, dude. I don't know if you noticed it was me that called on you to answer it. But they had some guy with a cell phone. He wasn't even pressed. So I just said, what the heck, Joe? Go ahead, baby.
I always appreciate it.
He's too fucking smooth. I don't like that. I like him so much.
That Epstein was involved in some kind of blackmailing operation for very wealthy rich people. The fact that Gates is also saying that in his own opening statement that's what's happening, does that sort of open up a whole new line of questioning for other people as well?
I think so. My questions were along those lines in the first place, but since he's done that, we're going to go back and readjust them just a little bit and maybe get to more to the meat of the matter. I agree. Yeah, I think that's going to be that'll change the course of it. Unfortunately, most of the Democrats weren't in there when that was going on. So I'll get to all y'all. Don't worry. Do what?
Why was this a closed door hearing?
I don't know, ma'am. That's above my pay grade. I'm big about transparency. I always just say let it be wide open, but that seems to be something both parties agree on.
Why can't we? So, because it's part of the negotiation, right? Like these people like Bill Gates, their legal representation, and Hillary Clinton's legal representation. All these people have legal representation. All their lawyers negotiate closed door deposition. So when he says it's above my pay grade, it's not above your pay grade. It's what you negotiated.
And I'm sorry, like these aren't military personnel working on top secret fucking missions, right? I mean, maybe they are. Maybe we don't know about it. But like, I don't know. That's the only time maybe it should go behind closed fucking doors. I don't want to hear any of this shit about like, oh, the crimes were so bad. Okay, so if I commit a crime so absolutely fucking terrible that the government goes, oh, you know what, we'll just put it behind closed doors to where justice doesn't ever creak its way. And what the fuck is the point of justice at that time?
Right. Yep. And it's not above your pay grade, Mr. Richette. It's what you all negotiated with these people to get them to come in and testify.
And that's the way we go. And we did that with the Clintons as well.
It should be the easiest negotiation possible. It should just be like jail time or come in and fucking answer. Like immediate jail or fucking come in and answer. Like your lack of coming in is an implication. You know, like the police will pull this on us. We'll say implication of guilt, right? That's their reason for a stop, like a Terry frisk, whatever the fuck they choose to do, right? But that's what happens. They say an implication of an illegal act. We're seeing more than an implication. We're seeing these people rat themselves the fuck out in the emails. So, like, go above and beyond. If you've got to go outside of your fucking pay grade to make sure that some justice is done, that's well within your rights, sir. It's when you do that. Well, it's when they do that to go and fucking make $1 billion on the fucking stock market. They're willing to do a morally ambiguous act like that, but in order to get justice, they won't overreach or overstep their own fucking boundaries. Like, fuck off. Fuck off to all these people.
All they had to give them was, hey, you know what? Your lawyer can be there. This is going to be an open hearing with video cameras. Show up or get subpoenaed. Either way. What do you mean closed doors was above your pay grade? That's such bullshit.
Shout out to Sarah B. What is crappening?
Sarah B, what up?
Enjoy the yell fest that we have created for ourselves right now.
The angry Epstein echo chamber.
And unless we did that, which I don't know how you get past a subpoena. I'm not really sure how that works, but I guess if you're a big deal, you can do more than the rest of us could. I'll get you, and then I'll get you, ma'am. Go ahead.
There was a question earlier that Chair Comer about the emails with the STI medication. Was that asked about? Did we get any clarification from Gates?
And that's the one we just read.
On that part, ma'am. I'm sorry. Go ahead. What would you be, ma'am? I guess if you're getting drug out here, y'all your dirty laundry, and let's be honest. I don't think he's that good of a person, but that's just anybody would be that way. You got a great accent, by the way. Where are you from?
Do you doubt if he was telling you guys the full truth?
I think he's right up to that line, ma'am. I think his attorneys, the last thing he wants to do is tell us a lie, and then we call him back in.
So on the level of transparency, do you want to see acting attorney committee? Chairman Comer said he's going to ask for.
So the reporter, if you didn't catch it, the reporter said she had heard some reports from some of the other senators that were in the hearing that Bill Gates was a little combative. And Tim Burchett said, well, yeah, he's combative. They're airing out all of his dirty laundry on the House floor.
July didn't specify if that would be through subpoena, if it would be behind closed doors.
I suspect Todd's a pretty fearless guy. I don't think he needs a subpoena. I don't think he's got anything to hide, and I don't think he's scared of anybody. I heard somebody over here.
Can I ask you a quick question on FISA? Donald Trump did post on Truth Social saying that he will have Pulte continue as acting director, but now wants a short-term extension. Do you think that's something that's going to be able to pass the House, or do you feel like
it's going to be very tough without?
Okay, it's on FISA. Don't really care about FISA.
Or a warrant, I think.
I don't know.
It's going to be problematic.
Fifth every single question and just everyone walked out. Is there any possibility that there'll be a comment?
Republicans need to get some guts and start taking that majority out for a walk and do something with it and start passing some laws and make the Senate vote on it. Send it over there and say, vote on it, or we'll wear you out. That's what you got to do. This agreement that we have, America's tired of it. We have the majority. We need to start acting like it.
Congressman, was there any other people that Gates mentioned that were in Epstein's orbit that the committee could pass along to the DOJ?
That was something that was brought up, and I didn't hear any new names that haven't already been mentioned, ma'am. We good? Everybody?
Thank you.
These brownies are actually pretty good. I don't know. They're not as good as my mama or my wife.
It's because they're pop brownies, sir. That's because there's weed in those brownies. Okay, well, what'd you think of our chat?
I like him. He's got personality. He's a great mouthpiece for what could be done, but isn't being done, in more ways than one, right?
You hate that you like him?
Okay, I don't like that. I don't like that. I like politicians. We need to hold these people accountable. They shouldn't be fucking celebrities in their own right. They should just do their fucking job. It's a public servant. Like just because they do an important job doesn't mean anyone needs to fawn over them. They need the same amount of, actually, it's not even the same. It's like a lawyer. If a lawyer commits a crime because he knows the exact propensity of the law, he should be charged worse than an everyday criminal who doesn't take the bar exam. Same thing for politicians. They know what they're doing. They know it more than any of us. They're in the position to capitalize off these things. So anytime they infringe or break a rule, instead of getting a slap on the wrist and the information hidden, they should be charged worse than the normal person. Like that's how the justice system was set up in the 50s, dude. Like that's how it always worked up until recently, until they had lobbyists and lobbyists paying them money, and then them changing laws to fit their own fucking narratives or fit their own, comfort level.
Well, those are, lawyers can face harsher penalties because they're supposed to know the law, can't they? At least I think they can. Could be speaking out of turn, but
like, what do you mean?
Well, so like if a lawyer, if you pass the bar and you break the law, they'll take that into consideration that you understand the law when they go to prosecute you or sentence you.
Well, how many of these politicians, especially some of the ones that were involved with Epstein, also have taken the bar exam at some point in time? There's a healthy overlap.
Oh, sure, a bunch.
You know what I mean? Like that's actually who he's being advised by on skirting a lot of the international laws.
Yep. So here's the Democrat. Looks like most of the Democrats, and so I'm guessing at this point it's already over. I don't know. Maybe they're taking a break.
All right, thank you. This is Ranking Member Garcia, obviously Oversight Democrats. I'm going to make a few remarks on, of course, the topic of the ongoing interview with Mr. Gates, but also we have a variety of other information and statements to make about a variety of issues as it relates to the Epstein files, of which other other members are going to discuss, including some new revelations that came out in some reporting this morning. So a bunch of us will discuss some different things. Let me just begin by saying two things. One on a statement by Chairman Comer this morning, and then on Mr. Gates. Just want to begin by reiterating that earlier today, Chairman Comer noted that he was willing to bring in Todd Blanche, the nominee for Attorney General, in front of the Oversight Committee. This is a request that our entire committee made to Chairman Comer a couple of weeks ago, after former AG Pam Bondi put essentially most of the blame on the disastrous investigation that's been this investigation, doxing survivors, putting them in danger, not releasing half the files. She put that on Todd Blanche. And so we are glad that Chairman Comer has finally agreed to bring in Mr. Blanche for what we believe needs to be an under oath deposition, videotaped and released to the American public, or better yet, a actual public hearing where the media.
Well, like Todd Blanche went out and did his media tour and basically told people, hey, look, we got 99.999% of the stuff we needed to redact for these victims out. 0.001% of the victim information did not get redacted. So since it was such a small percentage, I mean, we did pretty good. He was pretty proud of the job they did in releasing those Epstein files and not redacting victims' names, birthdays, phone numbers, addresses, minors in pictures where they are unclothed. Didn't feel bad about that at all. So I don't know why they're excited to get him in there. He's either going to say the same thing or not say anything at all. We're not going to hear anything new from Todd Blanche if they get him in this oversight committee.
Media and the public are invited. That would be our preferences. And so we're glad that Chairman Comer, after just yesterday saying that it wasn't necessary, that today he is saying that he wants to bring Mr. Blanche in, and we strongly support that. Secondly, on throughout the afternoon. So far, Mr. Gates has been cooperative in answering our questions. We have said we want to talk to anyone. We don't care if they're a Republican, Democrat, how wealthy they are. If they have information about Mr. Epstein, we want to speak with them. Mr. Gates has discussed and provided us information about other folks that were in Mr. Epstein's orbit, which we want to discuss with. He has said to us multiple times, which he has said to the media, that he himself did not ever realize or understand he was ever introduced to any women that then, of course, that Mr. Gates interacted with, that there was no abuse as far as Mr. Gates knew of. He has said to the media, he said to us as well. That'll be discussed by some of our members, but let me also just finally say that it's important to note that Mr. Gates does understand that he was around people, and assistants and those employed by Mr. Gates, that were also abused. And so he was around people.
This video is driving me nuts. All the skipping. So I'm going to imagine that we're going to hear the same thing from all of these folks. And we're going to see if we can't jump forward to maybe the other side of the aisle, if they're included in this. And does not look like they are. Okay, so let's jump over to this report here and finish this one up.
Which we only got, of course, recently, show her awareness that one girl could not come because she was at school till 10 p.m. Others show a type of paid activity that goes beyond, say, an hour massage. She arranged at Epstein's request for a paid visit at the house that would start around 3, but staying into the evening. So that's just some of what we know. Today, speaking to the committee, she played down knowing that kind of thing. Lawmakers say that she was just distancing herself from what Epstein did. She saw no misconduct, she claims. One Democrat saying they want to get Groff on the record so that when we find out later she was lying, quote, we can arrest her. Lawmakers expressing their doubts about her claimed sort of naivete.
It is highly inconsistent what she's maintaining, that she really didn't know Jeffrey Epstein. She arranged young women for massages with a registered sex offender. And I just question whether she can rightfully and truthfully maintain that she saw nothing improper.
That's one lawmaker's informed skepticism. Groff's claims of ignorance.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. Goff knew exactly what was going on before, during, and after everything that happened in Florida. And she continued to help Epstein acquire underage girls. She can say she didn't know. But best case scenario, it's willful ignorance. Worst case scenario, it's trafficking. Trafficking of underage minors. I don't know what Bill Gates is going to say today, but I can guarantee you it's not going to be anything earth-shattering. Because anything earth-shattering, he would have to be compelled. And he's not going to be compelled in a Senate House Oversight Committee hearing. Closed doors, no cameras, deposition only. So this is where we're at with the Epstein case today. Flak, any thoughts before we close her out after going over all these updates today?
Oh man, good luck. Good luck to us all. Yeah.
Godspeed.
My profile thing today, my little picture is
the
memento mori. That's meant to is an old Middle Ages way of realizing that death is at your doorstep, and this is a message to the fuckers that are really fucking around during this Epstein shit. You know, your day in front of St. Peter will come. You will have to deal with the choices you made.
You know, I feel like with so many of these people, that's just going to have to be the consequences. Clearly, their pockets are too deep. Their power is too expansive.
Deep pockets easy, as my man Chase would say.
Yeah. And it's just, we can't get them. And then, I mean, look, I don't want to get political and all that shit, but like, let's be real. Donald Trump's lawyer was Todd Blanche. His personal lawyer, his personal attorney.
If that's not a conflict of interest, I don't know what is.
It's crazy. And
like he legally can't fuck with any of the shit that Donald Trump has ties in with this, because that was a client earlier on. And if it's around the same time that he was going through the litigation with this, and I mean like 2014 with Epstein, and then just again in 2018, 2019, like clearly that's a conflict there. Why the fuck is he anywhere near this?
And they did the same thing with Bill Barr. Remember, they're like, Bill Barr, you're now the AG, and you got to look into this Epstein stuff. And he's like, oh, I definitely will. And then when he actually had to sit down and answer under oath, he was like, well, we have to look into that because there might be a conflict of interest because I worked for a law firm that defended him one time.
Oh. And then his father was the one who got him into Bear Stearns and got him into the school Dalton. You know, like, I'm pretty sure as a kid, he probably well, maybe not a kid. He's a bit older. But I'm pretty sure at some point in his life, he'd met Epstein well before he ever worked for Epstein. And that's because his dad was friends with Epstein. And I'm pretty sure in one capacity, maybe they worked for each other.
Right. And not to knock Pam Bondi, but when she went and testified about this, it was a fucking nightmare. She handled herself in the exact opposite way one should handle themselves during this interview. Like, we're trying to find out more about a case. The Donald Trump White House might be involved in it. But instead of looking further into that, it's defend Trump at all costs. It was not a good look for her at all. But then Blanche takes over and he's like, what? It's over. It's done. There's no more Epstein case. It's closed. We're always open to hear new information. So if you have new information, let us know.
But they don't say prosecute. You know what I mean? Like maybe that's the tell right there is like, we're willing to hear it, and that is all.
Right.
We won't go anywhere with this, but we'll listen to you. It's like, what the fuck
100%.
good is that? That's like talking to a wall.
Exactly. It just goes nowhere. And in the meantime, we have victims like Maria Farmer, whose health is literally just decaying right in front of our eyes. And there's just nothing that can be done.
It seems like that's the fate. The fate for a lot of these women, whether it's the guilt and the trauma that they're seeing from any of this, or maybe DEW. I don't know why I switched from spelling it to saying the fucking word, but the do weapons, you know.
The do weapons, yep.
You know, maybe that might have a small part to play in it, but I think it's really odd that the only ones really doing the right thing by trying to push justice for this are all meeting catastrophic ends, Virginia Giuffre included, you know?
Yeah. And we've talked about Zorro Ranch, where it was located, the fact that there were literally tens of thousands of petroglyphs at this location, the fact that the Attorney General right now of New Mexico, because New Mexico has decided, you know what, if the feds aren't going to do anything, we're going to invest Zorro because this happened in New Mexico and we're going to investigate it. And the Attorney General for New Mexico goes on the news just this morning talking about how he can't get the files he needs from the Department of Justice to further investigate Zorro Ranch. He says, unlike anything he's ever seen, the federal government and the state government, as far as it comes to law enforcement and justice, have always worked hand in hand, hardly ever an issue. For whatever reason, this is an issue. Gee, what could that reason be? Keep your eyes open, y'all. Keep your heads on a swivel. They're coming from all directions right now. But I think that's going to do it for this one, buddy. And we're going to do another one once we finally get this Bill Gates testimony. I doubt there's going to be anything interesting in there, but we're definitely going to cover it. Hopefully there is some interesting stuff in there.
Yeah, this was, I don't want to say it was a fun one, but it was an informative one.
It was an informative one.
It's an infuriating one. I'm glad we did it, though.
That's right. Hey, if you're feeling infuriated, you should feel infuriated because right now it seems like everybody involved except for Epstein and himself and Jizzface Maxwell is going to get off scot-free. That's kind of what it's looking like. And we're still waiting on 3 million plus documents, by the way. Goodness gracious me. All right, y'all. Don't forget, like, subscribe, all those fun things. Don't forget to share if you're on X. That really helps the algorithm. Flak Magnet, thank you so much for your continued co-hosting abilities, sir. We love you around here.
Oh, thank you, buddy. I'm glad that we have an outlet for this stuff because if I weren't able to at least shout into our little echo chamber, I don't know where I'd be fucking yelling this. So probably on a street corner and then in an insane asylum in a straitjacket, you know?
Yeah.
But thank you for having me, buddy.
Absolutely. We're not going to get famous off of these, I'll tell you that, because they definitely just the algorithm goes, oh, Epstein, to the bottom.
And I just posted the Oprah thing
in results right now.
I just posted the Oprah and John of God thing, maybe about like once we were talking about it, I was like, fuck it, because we're talking about it. I haven't posted this yet. So let me go throw that up there. And zero, they got like 12 views, zero likes, zero comments, nothing, dude. It just fell into a fucking hole. But I did the Marina Abramovich one. I did the Marina Abramovich one, and that one's already up to like fucking 8 likes, a couple comments. So that one at least is doing okay. But what is up with Oprah? They will not let you talk shit about her.
If you post about K-pop, 5,000 views easy.
Oh, that's easy. Like but K-pop is the shit, huh? You know what I mean? You can't help but dance. I actually do feel bad for the K-pop groups because, dude, it's like a fucking what is it?
They're like a product.
Yeah, but it's like
Yeah.
a boot camp that kind of like mills these guys out.
That's like what they did to the Spice Girls.
If you want to be my lover, you got to get with my friends, and that's also what Jeffrey Epstein said.
I always thought that was such a weird lyric.
Look, I get with my friends. It's like, no, actually, I think that'll get me in a lot of trouble with the lady I'm with. She wouldn't like that at all.
What was that from The Princess Bride? I do not think that word means what you think it means.
Inigo
boy.
Montoya.
Yeah,
Yes,
huh?
yes.
You do have 6 fingers on your left hand.
My name is Inigo Montoya. Prepare to die.
Prepare to die. Oh, buddy. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this one. We're going to wrap it up. Thank you all for hanging out. Sarah Beth, we love you. We see you. Thanks for chilling with us. Giving us some comments, some things to thinking about, things to think about while we're talking. Y'all have a great evening, and we will see you next time. Remember, folks, hold the ones you love close. Let them know you love them. We'll see you next time.
Peace.